Welcome to Box Fans Talk TV. I'm your host, TDT. You can refer to me as Miss T. Y'all see the thumbnail, the future of Showtime boxing and what it means for the PBC. I'm gonna clear the air. Probably have to repeat this over and over again. And what made me bring it up? I got so many people trying to get at me over this topic like Showtime. But we're gonna talk about that and maybe some other things. But y'all know the drill. First, let's turn to. Hey, welcome back. Welcome back to Boxing Fans Talk TV. I'm your host, TDT, and you can refer to me as Miss T. What's happening, Queen? I see you in the building, Fistiana Fights. Y'all know what I do at the top of my hour. I talk about water check, and how it's important to drink your water. Now, I reached my intended goal, like as far as at this point in time during the day. I had 10 bottles of 8-ounce bottles of water. And I just been one behind the other. Some days I don't reach that goal because, here at Boxing Fans Talk TV, we advocate that the average person drink at least 100 ounces of water. And sometimes I don't reach it just like you guys. But, after all, tomorrow is another day. That's the credo I live by. But I think I reached my goals. I think I'm going to do like maybe 2 or 3 more after the show to round it out, because I try to drink like 12 a day. That's not a lot. That's about 96 ounces. So, the formula is half your body weight in ounces of water, and that's everybody. But there's such thing as OD in water, and we know that a lot of people don't like to drink water. Why? Because it make you go to the bathroom frequently. It's boring. It's not good. Like people rather drink their coffee, their tea, their liquor, their beer, their whatever. But you better put your water in first. If you're not a big water drinker, we tell you 2 times a day at least drink some water. And that's first thing in the morning before the toes hit the ground, before you get off in your morning routine. Think of your body as an engine and the water is the lube. And it's time for the water to help things move along fast or in a timely manner, but more so in an efficient manner. So that's why you want to drink your water. You know your morning routines. You know what we all do first thing in the morning. So we advocate that you drink your water and have it on the nightstand. Learn how to drink room temperature water. I prefer mine's cold, but I can drink room temperature water. We even say get a little mini fridge. You can get a cube. They come in all shapes, sizes, and colors. You can get a cube shape, a thin one, a reasonably sized one. I got the reasonably sized one, 36 inches high, like waist high or something. Of course, you don't want to bring up no real deal Holyfield refrigerator in your room. Now that's going too far. What's the point of having a kitchen, don't you know? But you can have a little mini fridge. I got grapes in my fridge. I got soda. I got more stuff in there, not just water, but other stuff that everybody wants. And that way, all of us don't have to go downstairs and go to the kitchen. And while you're down there, you can say, "Oh, while I'm here, let me go on and fix this or pull out these leftovers or something." So that's why I advocate for the fridge. And guess what? It doesn't change your electric bill much. It really don't. It don't hurt it at all. Replacing a part on your condensers or your air conditioners will hurt you more than putting a fridge in there or even pumping Freon in your, which causes to hurt you more than just putting a fridge. You won't even notice the difference of a mini fridge, and the cost of keeping it plugged up all day. Serious up. Otherwise, I wouldn't even get one. And the second time that you should drink your water is at night when you get out the shower or the tub, whatever, however you do it. You throw in your pajamas on. You're going to lay in the bed. You're going to look at a program or two, 30-minute programs or an hour program. You might read a passage in the book. You might read a article or something in the magazine or newspaper or something. You might catch up on homework or I don't know what you can do, but you'll do something. You don't just get in the bed and boom, fall asleep. So even the American Heart Association agrees that you should drink water at this time because it's good for your heart. Anything that you can do that's good for your heart, you should do. Like I hate to say it, I don't eat aspirin every day. I take it back. I take aspirin every day, but I don't chew it up and eat them. But when you chew up aspirin, I'm talking the old school aspirin, that nasty taste shit. It actually does well for your heart, especially if it's a bear. Even though Bear had that controversy years ago, and like I said, these are not my products, but I'm just telling you what I know. Chewing the aspirin up and all of this is good for your heart in the long run. I know people in my family that been doing that shit for years, namely my mom. And I remember years ago they told her she had a heart like a 17-year-old. Who knew? Who knew? But shit, I can't do it. Shit tastes nasty to me. But I mean, if that's something you could do, by all means. And guess what? Doing all this stuff, like I said, is good for your heart. And a fun fact, you burn between 900 to 1,000 calories at night when you go into your deep sleep. Now, when I be telling people deep sleep, because somebody sent me a question, and thank you for that question. Like, they was like, why you keep saying deep sleep, not a nap? A nap, you don't go through the phases of sleep. You go through like 4 or 5 phases of sleep. You call it realms of sleep. It would take you to take Psych 101 to remember. Look, I'm trying to harken back to my Psych class 101 to remember what happened in each realm of sleep. I know there's sleeps where you're not really, really that deeply sleep. And then you go through the phases. Like you'll be somewhat asleep, then you'll be deeply sleep, then you'll be some other kind of sleep, and then it start over. And it does that all night long. That's what I mean by deep sleep versus a cat nap. You didn't doze off or whatever. Nothing really is going to happen in the cat nap. You have to go through those phases of sleep. So that's what I mean by deep sleep. And when you go through that, your body is working, believe it or not. Your body never stopped working. It has this daytime work that it does while you up and about. And then it has this sleep work that it does when you sleep and when you're out cold. And 900 to 1,000 calories is more than you could do in the daytime, up and about in the gym or whatever. You just you're revamping, you're rebooting, you're recharging, you're recreating. That one right there, recreating, takes a lot of energy. So That's why you burning a lot of calories and everything. So hold tight.
That was me.
Okay. Look, I don't like people walking up on me. Anywho, um, so make sure get your deep sleep, and deep sleep is a part of being healthy too. You need your water. I always talk about water, but you need sunlight. You got to get your sunlight, y'all, and you got to get salt in your diet, and you have to sleep. And those are the basic pinnacles of having a healthy life or a healthy day or health, your body being healthy. I always advocate for water because it's strange that in America we don't drink enough water. Then they come out with things like babies don't need water. Every living thing needs water. Just remember that. And drink your water up. And like I said, if you're looking for how much to guess about upon, if you're a little kid, drink half your body weight in water. Do adhere to that formula. But if you pretty much like 16 and up, you could drink a gallon of water a day, 128 ounces, or do like we advocate, shoot for 100 ounces. Can't go wrong, even if you weigh, let's say, 300 pounds, then that would be 150 ounces. But you still could do just 100, and it would do your body good. So I'm gonna get off that. Drink y'all water up, because in today's time, 2023 going forward, none of us should have dehydration problems ever. Now, let's do a little housekeeping. Please hit that like, share, and subscribe. If you already subscribed, no need to hit that button. You're locked in. I got you. But basically, lean on that heezy when you step into my heezy. And, just basically hit the like button when you step into my square circle. Leave a comment. Please do, because I get back with you. Leave a comment, ask a question, a statement, whatever. If it's logical, I'll engage. If you have any question, I do mean any questions from whatever I said in the past, present, or future, because you know me that well. You know what I'm going to ask in the future. Hit me up at boxingfanstalk@gmail.com. That's boxingfanstalk@gmail.com. And y'all see that lovely Boxing Fans Talk TV in yellow over there? That's my Cash App. Miss T like Cash App suit. It goes back into the channel. Trust me. And I appreciate every Cash App that I ever got, from the past to present and hopefully in the future. So remember, I come on Monday through Friday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Unless there's nothing to talk about, internet problems, I need a break, whatever. But I come on Monday through Friday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I always promise y'all I won't give y'all fluff. If it ain't nothing to talk about, it ain't nothing to talk about. But anyway, let's get into it. The future of Showtime boxing and what it means for the PBC. Now, I posted pictures of, a couple of fighters. I got the Keith Thurman and Errol Spence, Crawford, of course, and then Boots off to the side. What happened to these fighters, this big old stable at PBC? Now, a lot of people don't like you to talk about the PBC, because if you're talking about the PBC, you're talking about their favorite fighter. If you're talking about their favorite fighter, you're talking about the PBC. So people get all up in arms. And I'm going to tell y'all, this last couple of days, I done had people get at me over just putting down Crawford or trying to reiterate how much better Errol Spence is. And I was like, well, what's going on? I even see a new nickname they got for Crawford, saying crawfish. I mean, they is pouring it on thick. And they're talking about the PBC Showtime and this, that, and the other. So out of the two topics, I said, I'm just going to talk about Showtime. So people, let's be clear. It's not that people are just gunning for Showtime or they just want to destroy PBC. What people are doing is breaking up the lies and the narratives. Sometimes a person can say something to you that make you want to bring up something that you wouldn't have never brought up. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's going on with this rivalry between Errol Spence and Terence Crawford. Now, we have already proved, me E Thriller, B Mac, a whole lot of people have already proved that Errol Spence was ducking Terence Crawford. We've shown the receipts. Just because you talk louder or you overtalk somebody doesn't make you right. It just means you're a good aggressive talker or something. I don't know. But it doesn't make you right. Sometimes I just let them talk. Sometimes they do strike a nerve. It's possible. You can strike Miss T's nerves. But, sometimes I just let them talk. And they be talking about nothing. A front row seat to some bullshit. That's what I've been having in these last couple of days. A front row seat to some bullshit. Can't believe it. But let me say, hey, what's up, Fistiana Fights? What's up, Queen? Our moolah, our money was popping. Said Miss T 100. He talking to Fistiana 100. Andrew Charles is in the building. Was popping, King. He said Miss T. So I realized that. So I'm like, how do you report the news or report what's going on? Because you keep up with it. Like, let me tell you guys, I'm retired. I don't go to work. I don't have to go to work every day or nothing. I do want to work, but I have, for good reasons, I don't work or whatever. But that puts me in a better position to read and follow and do a whole lot of stuff and research more so than the average person that has to work. I'm not bragging when I say it. I'm not tripping when I say it. I'm just saying, stating the fact. That's what happens. So I'm only telling you guys what I've read or what I've saw or whatever. I don't have a dog in the race. You don't have a dog in the race. PBC and Showtime falling off has nothing to do with the fans. We didn't do it. We did not do it. Nobody else is to blame, but who's to blame? Paramount is his own, entity. They have decided that Showtime, they say shit about PBC, but what they're deciding will affect PBC. Just like the shit that PBC do in boxing affects all boxers. So yes, you can have entities that do things and make moves that affect everybody for the good or bad. But you can also can be an entity doing what they're doing, making their moves, which they're not factoring in those other people. Like I said, Paramount is the only way that you can say PBC and Paramount kind of link together, or they factor in what each one of them say, is that Paramount is looking at the bottom line. How much money are you making? Are you being successful in your venture of putting on fights? That's all Paramount cared about. If the bottom line is held to the yes, then Paramount is saying, goody, goody, goody. Let's keep you. Let's work with this merger. Let's put you in and let's make sure you don't go nowhere. But if the answer is held to the knees all, then Paramount is saying, cut the dead weight. That ain't Errol Spence's fault. That ain't Crawford's fault. That ain't the fans' fault. I gotta say it. I know some of y'all be like, let's see why you saying it like this. I have to. Y'all should have heard the arguments and debates I had in the last couple of days. Andrew Charles said, I'm a big fan of naps. Me too. When we was little, we ain't like no naps. But shit, I quickly learned the error in my ways. As you get older, it was like, run me that nap. And you said, our money, peace, bro. Dan Tan, welcome to the building. What's poppin', King? Said, salute, Queen T. And you said, I knew there were rivalries between fans of fighters, but before I got on YouTube, I had no idea there were rivalries between fans of promotional companies. Yeah, because they're inexplicably linked. They can't, like, for instance, they can't separate Errol Spence from PBC. They just can't. I don't know why. Errol Spence is a whole man out here. I don't know why. But they can't separate them. They have to link them together for whatever reason. And so there lies the rub. Okay, there lies the rub. I'm arguing with somebody over stupid shit. Matter of fact, I'm gonna pose a challenge to you guys. Cause I know I'm not gonna look for it. But I can't tell you the exact amount of cash app I will send you right away. But if anybody, and I do mean anybody, can find me an article, a passage, or something that would explain how a promotional company gives its fighters airing rights, airing, AIRING, or like syndication. Like they give their fighters syndication rights, meaning when somebody, wherever media outlet they use, when somebody play, let's say, I'm trying to think of somebody we know. I'm going to go with Errol Spence, I guess. When somebody play an Errol Spence fight, Errol Spence gets a percentage of it. I'm going to describe it also like, you got Bill Cosby show. We know Bill had been in the hot water or whatever, but they play that Cosby show everywhere. It's in syndication. That means that Malcolm Jamal Warner, Tempest Bledsoe, what's her name? The one who played Denise, Claire, the one who played Claire Huxtable, all of them, every time the Cosby show play, you can say cha-ching, they get some money. And the more media's venues that they use to play, like basically it's on USA, it's on TNT, it's on BET, it's on like all these, you see all these damn these different medias that I'm naming. The more that the Cosby Show play on these different ones, or something like Martin, the more those actors in there, they get a percentage of the money generated from it. Because as you know, even when you're in the syndication, you still using advertisements in between the shows. And those are dollars. Those are real dollars. So those actors, when you see Martin, fucking Martin Lawrence, Tashina Arnold, Tisha Campbell, the dude Payne and the Tommy, God rest his soul, they were all getting some residual money. Not as much as they did when they was doing the show, but residual money after the fact. I had this nigga tell me that PBC is the only promotional company pretty much that gives his fighters a percentage of the airing or syndication rights. And I was like, prove it. That's all I said. Now, maybe I'll admit, if I'm slow on the uptake of that, then I'm slow on the uptake. Marty King, boxing, I see you, King. What's popping? Jay Reddy, I see you, King. Hey, sis. He said, hey, sis. What's good? I know it sounds crazy to be even talking about this, but that's the conversation that I be getting. And dude was so adamant because he was talking about the split. And I was like, maybe he thinks the split, when you say 60-40, 70-30, 80-20, or whatever the fuck I want to give you, maybe he thinks that split is what governs or covers, or this thing about syndication is all falling under that umbrella. And which I was confused, because I'm gonna tell you, like I said, if I'm slow on the uptake, if this is the case and it's been going on for a minute, then Miss T will tell you straight up, I ain't know, y'all. I didn't know. So I'm asking you guys, I'm challenging you guys. I bet you can't find it. I've been looking for hours. In order for us to know if something like that is going down, in my opinion, then contracts have to be shown. or released. So, in other words, Errol Spence had to literally post his contract for the world to see and show that how he got this side deal with Al Heyman to give him this, that, and the other. And I don't think that is an accurate thing. I don't think that's accurate for no fighter. But this guy told me, based on the splits, Al Heyman gives his fighters airing rights. That's what he basically saying, airing. I'm saying airing, but basically like syndication. Because, you know, a fight, let's say the Broner and Pacquiao fight, that's not going to come on every day on different media stations. But you can find, you know, where to play here and there. It could be part of a documentary or this, that, and the other. Dude was telling me that PBC gives all of their fighters that's not something that Top Rank do. That's not something that Golden Boy do, or Matchroom, or other, you know, promotional companies, big or small. Only Al do that. And I was like, nah. and listen, I don't know nothing about that, as I said. But to further it, let me give you some examples. So if you go over to the Zone right now, you can find some Floyd Mayweather fights. What Floyd Mayweather fights? They're the fights he did with the fights that he did with Golden Boy, right? So that tells me I'm just off the rip, off the muscle. Y'all know I like to say it the other way, but I'm going to be nice. I'm just going off the muscle assume that Golden Boy has the rights over that programming. Why? Because Golden Boy works with the Zone and it's over there playing on the Zone. Cool. You would never see TNT, ABC, CBS, Showtime. You don't see them re-airing these things. You know, and then if you think about it, when AJ and Usyk fought, their last fight, Sky Sports won the bid for rights to air that program. So Sky Sports, once they won that right, they aired it so the world could see. But if Sky Sports want to put it on this weekend and re-air it, they can. I'm not aware of AJ or Usyk getting a percentage from anybody, you know, to own the rights to the programming. Like I said, if that is going on with fighters, that is not something that the public is aware of. That is not something that they put out. But this guy, in order to have a measuring stick, so to speak, where his side is better, he throws that out. And I was like, why are we even talking about that? That don't even make sense. It's not a measuring stick. That's what he wanted it to be. Al is doing right by them, blah, 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 because blah, 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 blah. You got Adrian Broner saying he didn't pay him in his last checks. He didn't give him his last 6 checks. Y'all want to say Adrian is a liar, he fucking up, blah, blah, blah. But Adrian is consistent. One thing we do see pattern-wise that nobody can go and say nothing bad about Al Heyman. And that might be in the contract. I've heard rumors. But nobody go ham, you know, on Al Heyman. But they'll tell the truth about a situation, but they won't go ham. AB said he didn't get his last checks. Deontay Wilder has just come out and said Al Heyman owed him $30 million. Now, I don't know about y'all. This is an easy fix for me. If you do a deed and you expect to get paid, like if I come and cut your grass, I don't want to hear no shit about next week you gonna pay me. You pay me when I cut the grass. When my AC guy was here the other day, he don't want to hear no shit about I'll pay you later. When he was done doing what he was doing, he needed me to run that money to him. Point blank, period. And that's how boxing is. It's prize fighting. So when you do your boxing, at the end of it, you expect your prize. Why wouldn't Al Heyman be paying his fighters after they complete the deed? Next time, if it's at all possible to get a mic in front of Al, this is a question that people need to ask. Or if the fighters are going through this, they need to all come out and say something. But what would make them scared to even fight for themselves? Okay? I am an advocate of the reset of boxing. I have always said we need to get out the Floyd Mayweather era. What all of this got to do with Showtime? Because of how PBC kind of ran their business, Showtime could possibly be on the total chopping block. Everybody don't want to hear that because they think, oh, you just can't wait till they fall off. But y'all got to think, I'm not the one that's going to make them fall off. I'm not the one who owns Paramount. Paramount only cares about the bottom line. If Al Heyman is putting on fights and not paying his people on time, that means he's not balancing his books, number one. And you shouldn't do that because you can fuck around and get way behind. Case in point, George Bush sent us to war. He never paid for it. And when that time that Obama came in, we was in a serious deficit. Republicans do that all the time. You know, but instead of us having all the stuff that we have, what happened while Obama had to pay it off? He had to take shit out the tax code. I know it was little stuff that he was taking back that a lot of y'all just missed. But anybody paying attention, you'll be like, damn, you don't get the earned income credit no more. You don't get, this, all that stuff that would have made your taxes skyrocket. Obama had to take back because the war had to be paid for. If George Bush would have paid for it up front, then what would have happened? You would have did what you only could do, and then you'd have got out of there. Instead, he didn't pay for it. We was dug in a hole. We was in debt, in a deep deficit, and we wind up being there the whole 20 years. I got a nephew who was born when we went over there to war, and when it ended, he was a grown man. Like, real talk. So I use that analogy to say, you got Deontay Wilder saying, Al Heyman owe me $30 million. You got Adrian Broner saying, I ain't get 6 of my checks, and countless others. Now, if Al Heyman had to pay out, he would have to dip into his own money. He doesn't really have the discretionary money from the upfront money to put on fights. He's relying on the network budget to put on fights. And the network, because he's picking and choosing what he want to see and squeezing juice out of a turnip when there ain't no more liquid to be squeezed out of, he forced Paramount's hand. Paramount looking at it like, I don't see the game. Nothing personal. I just don't see the game. So guess what? We're gonna let you go, bro. Our money said Dan Tan. Mike Jones is in the building. Mike Jones, what's poppin', King? He said PBC has a schedule. That's fine. I expect them to have a schedule. But I'm gonna show you where they say they don't have an actual date, but sometime this year. Let me tell y'all another thing. See, these are one of the things that people say too to prove their argument. When I was in the military, my last day was April 5th. I mean, as of April 5th, I didn't put that uniform on and go to work. 2012, right? I had my retirement ceremony on the 20th. I was on leave until June 30th, from April 5th to June 30th. Every day I got up, did what the fuck I wanted to do. I didn't have to put on uniform, go nowhere. But guess what? I was still in the military. That means I moved and act like I was still in the military. Even though I knew come July 1st, I'm no longer in the military. But until that day come, it's business as usual. Until they pull the plug, business as usual. This is a temperament or a way of acting that we all should embrace. This is how you should act in life, period. In business, period. It's always business as usual until it's not. And you know when it's not. Until that day come, do everything business as usual, as if it's going to still be going on. And that's the proper way to handle things. So Mike Jones, I hope that kind of like, answer your question. It's not something for me anyway. I don't know about other people, but it's not something I would take and be like, because they got the schedule, that means they good. No, it means to me business as usual. And that's how they supposed to act. So kudos to the PBC and Showtime for still acting like business as usual. Until somebody come in on that day, that fateful day, and pull that plug, you keep running that shit like it's supposed, like it's business as usual. Mike Jones said, "Where's Top Rank schedule?" We've seen Top Rank schedule. Come on now, you can go in the internet and pull up that shit anywhere. See, and that's another talking point, Mike Jones. You can go anywhere and pull up Top Rank schedule. You know that. Modern King Box said, "Al Money, peace, fam. Just listening and watching TV, bro." Modern King said, "It's crazy we got to be in battle with networks, but truth is they don't put black versus black. I'm not going to sugarcoat. They treat us as fans like pennies. A lot of people don't respect the black dollars, but it is a fact that what makes the economy move and go and people spending is always blacks. I mean, it's a fact, and we're not being racist about it. It is a fact that black people probably outspend everybody else when it comes to the economy. We do, because and I think it got more to do with trying to find some piece of happiness, some corner of happiness in your life, because most of us are not as prosperous as most people are. We're not the elites. We have some successful black folks, don't get me wrong, but we don't have greater numbers of being the elites and being the thousandaires, as I call them. So a lot of times you have to carve out some kind of happiness or something. Like, I know people who are so poor, they be like, I get cable. That's my outing. That's my all the stuff that you do to travel and go places and go to casinos and do all the my outing is my cable TV. I've heard people say that. And I understand it because I come from humble beginnings too. And that's what it was for us. We had to do everything free. But cable was our outing. That was our one thing we could afford consistently monthly. You know, Monty King said pro-black turned out to be pro-dollar, so Al can keep himself in Floyd winning, not us as fans. You know what? Al, he doesn't cut. Now, this is one time I'm gonna defend Al. You never really see him. He's a mystery man. When I be seeing his photos, what was I calling them? Stock photos and stuff. Like, do he really exist? Al doesn't really come out and talk. So you can't really say Al put that out there in the atmosphere. Now, we don't know what he puts on the contract, but we have gotten the clue that you have to compliment Al on the contract. I like to thank Al Heyman. That's why they say it sound like a broken record. They say it all the time, but I'll never put that out, that he is just all for the black people. We saw a black man, Harvard educated, and we assume Sorry, y'all. We assume that he was for black people because he's black, but he's for business. Period. He's for making his own money. That's what he's been from day one. That's what he'll be forever. Jay Reedy said, Al is gangster with a Harvard degree. Yeah, he is. Dan Ted said, I would gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today. Indeed. That's the program that Al on. I don't know what pillow talking or sweet little nothings he's whispering in these fighters' ears, but he got them all shook. Like, they be like standing up for themselves. Like Deontay Wilder stood up for himself. I know him to be a strong black man, Deontay Wilder. But he was like telling his piece, his truth. Al owe me $30 million. Okay. When a motherfucker owe you that much money, we not breaking bread together. Nigga, pay me in nickels. You know what I'm saying? But Deontay then turned around and said, I like Al though. He's cool, blah, blah, blah. I be like, what is that? You know what I'm saying? What the fuck is that? Al Money said, MKB, you right, bro. At the same time, streaming is so easy. The networks don't know what to do. Streaming will be the way of the future because all the barriers that you have to go through when dealing with networks, you got to get this approved, you got to get that approved, you got to, make sure you check this box and that box. Motherfuckers don't want to go through all that. So streaming, you don't have to do that. You can cut out the middleman. Hold on, y'all. I got to get my hauls because I'm already going through this. Like, I can't really talk. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. Yeah, I have to suck on these hauls. They help me. They told me, the COVID and shit that I had, like whatever, probably take 1 month or so to finally just totally go away. So I'm gonna try to be patient about it. Hope y'all bear with me. Thank y'all for bearing with me. But Martin King says, Al Money, my biggest problem was and still is that us as consumers on the YouTube hurt ourselves from getting the fights, mainly big channels I used to enjoy. Always try to keep unity was how we could. Yeah, I've done shows where I talk about Al and people like such or that ilk doing stuff that they want, like putting their thoughts and feelings in front of what consumers want. Like, there's an old saying, because the customer is always right. But the empty suits of boxing, they seem like they want to do what they want to do. And they actually turn a profit, no matter how small, of these nothing fights that nobody wants. And then in their mind, when they do put on the big kahuna, that is going to blow up and be all that for them. But in the long run, you're making people lose interest in boxing. This is why a lot of boxing fans have turned to MMA, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, he said, how forced the fight we wanted. Martin King said, people clown instead of took action, in my opinion. XO Factory is in the building. What's poppin', King said? What's good, Miss T, the queen of boxing talk? What's good with you? Martin King said, correct. ATX Slab Life Cletus, a.k.a. Big Texas. Yo, what's poppin', King? Welcome to the building. Martin King Boxing said, I was still surprised I got Showtime. Great weekend of Boxing Plus. Now, oh yeah, remember I told y'all to go look and see if Showtime actually airs the boxing that they got scheduled, and they did. So Again, even if it appears, if I tell you I don't like this person, or I don't like that person, I don't like this business, or I don't like that business, I am never capping for anybody. I can tell the truth. It don't hurt me to say Showtime did a solid this weekend. They actually put the fight on. But it is also a fact that a couple of fights before Showtime had on the schedule, I go to try to look at it and the shit didn't come on. So we'll start with that. Like I said, you got people who wants to rebut so bad about Showtime. Why? Because PBC had a contract with Showtime and Fox. Fox is gone, so PBC don't have that no more. And now they probably about to lose Showtime. Again, everybody getting their arms and they get mad. You know, the future of Showtime boxing. Whose fault is it? Who can take the blame of what's going on? You gotta lay that at the people who had the power at Showtime Boxing. People like Steven Espinoza, aka the Weasel. Because of the moves he made. Because he's the boss. I don't know where in this country, what year, what date did we get away from holding people responsible and accountable, especially bosses. Steven Espinoza is the boss. He's the leader over there. So if shit get fucked up, that's on him. That should be understood. When you raising your kids, who you put in charge, the youngest or the oldest? When you in your house, who run the house, the king or the queen? But then when we come to boxing and it's talking about something, your favorite fighter or your favorite network, we let all that logic go out the window. Steven was ultimately in charge of putting forth fights that consumers wanted and charging them accordingly. And I ain't gonna say dropped the ball. He miscalculated what was gonna be good or not. It can happen to anybody. But he consistently and chronically miscalculated. And that it gave Paramount Plus pause. Like, wait a minute. We can't consistently and chronically keep going down this road. But y'all would be happy to know that Showtime has a streaming app already set up. So maybe that's the way they're going. Maybe they're going in the direction of the zone. I think Showtime would be okay. It won't be like it was. They're going to have to get it from the mud. They're going to have to start from the bottom. Boxing has to reset. And I'm going to tell you in a minute why they got to reset. How they should reset. And I've always thought this. I might not say it all the time, but I always thought this. If you don't do your business correctly, you're going to pay for that. Your business ain't going to yield any profits. You're not going to be prosperous. You have to do the business in a way that it works. Not how you feel, but how it works. Our Money said, MKB, I understand what you're saying, bro. That still doesn't change how easy it is to stream a fight, bro. The only way they're going to get the buys they want is to give us the fights we want. Exactly. That is the easiest fix right there. I'm actually arguing with this guy about stealing back in the day versus now. Stealing is not something new under the umbrella of life as we know it. There was big time stealing back then. They have always stole fights and whatnot. They have always found a way to steal some shit. When somebody want to break the law or anything, there will be a way to do it, a loophole, if you will. I had to argue with this person because streaming is what it is. Because you know what the problem with America today and most people in the world? Y'all take contemporary times and try to mix it up with old pastimes. and you just can't do it. It's stupid to do so. Judge the past by the past times. Judge contemporary times, meaning today's time, by today's time. You're not going to sit up here and say stealing of cable wasn't rampant back in the day. And y'all know it was. Anybody going to tell me it wasn't? Chime in. But these are the arguments I get into, or debates, if you want to call them that, because we be talking about the failures of Showtime or what that could potentially mean going forward. If Showtime failed, that has a domino effect and can lead to failures with the PBC and its fighters. Because if PBC don't have no place to showcase their fights, you don't consider that a loss or a failure? We don't know their whole stable. They're supposed to have 200 people or so over there. We only know a handful. Spence only fighting once a year. Wilder only fighting once a year. Everybody fighting once a year. Everybody can't have no kind of control over their career because it's done the way Al wants it done. Talk about the bravado and the nerves of steel of Al Heyman. If he's supposed to be in charge of getting you fights and shit, then whose fault is it when you don't have no fights? If he's the one in charge of doing that. If Showtime don't show boxing anymore, whose fault is that? It is definitely somebody's fault. Because it's definitely a reason why they don't show it. And XO J really say straight business. He said there's a limited amount of unclear footage of Al Heyman, like Bigfoot or something. Yeah, that's funny. Al Money, what's good, my brother? He said, at Al Money, you right, because in 2017, I started watching Wilder, and I used to run home to get Fox pay-per-view when Wilder was knocking jokers out during the Fury matchups. You know, at Dan 10, I'll sell Al Heyman pictures on eBay. That's a rare sighting. He said, bidding wars. Dan 10, I was just thinking the same thing to myself. He said, Dan 10, look at the active activists. Yeah, I'm talking about your boy. What's going on, y'all? What's poppin', King? MKB, I'm going to pay for Plant versus Benavidez because it's a good fight. A lot of fans will be streaming. They may. Damn. What's up? He said, Al Heyman don't care about our feelings. No, Al Heyman care about his bottom line. Al Money, I'm passing on that one I bought, that ESPN Plus, Paul versus Fury, MKB. I streamed that one. I get those weekend cards free this week for just my subscription price, Queen. He said, no doubt, at Al Money, can't buy them all. Laugh out loud. He said, they saying ESPN Plus did 500,000, meaning Fury versus Paul. Ask the audience about boxers' rights for their fights. I just did. Y'all see that, right? I just did active activists, and ain't nobody chimed in. Yeah, stealing was just not as pronounced as it is today. You know what? I'm going to tell y'all this. Anybody who's in their 30s and under going to say that. Everybody my age and older, or a little bit older than their 30s, we're gonna say differently, because stealing is stealing. I'm telling you guys, in the 80s, there was just as much theft. You always have an ample amount of people who's just gonna steal and get around it. Now, y'all understand streaming is different. You can be in your own home. You ain't got to lean out the window and pop a box or climb up a pole and fiddle daddle with some shit inside a box. That's what you don't have to do no more. But because it seems so simple, you can just be in your room in your house with your device and click, 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 and you stealing. Y'all think it's more that it's like you trying to quantify it. But there has never been a study of that. There's never been no statistical data of that. So you really can't say. I can tell you when I was young that it was just as rampant as it is now. I mean, every building had somebody stealing cable. Every building. You were lucky if you could steal the fights back in the day. Today, anybody can stream them if they want. But that's what y'all think. But as I said, people will pop the box and they will fiddle daddle with the little screws or the things in there. And guess you know how you got caught? It's when somebody had an issue with the cable. They wasn't big. Like I've been overseas. They scramble their cable once a week. America didn't do that. They didn't scramble them that much. But the guy was bound to come out and fix your cable. Now, you steal the box, you get in the box, you steal your cable. Then you turn other people on. So everybody's stealing. Even the person who got cable, they stealing because like I said, when you crack the box open, you turn everybody's shit on. That way ain't nobody saying shit. If the cable guy got to come out there and fix anything with the box or do any upkeep or maintenance, that's how they notice, and then they cut everybody's shit off. Now, that's the cable guy being nice, because he could call the police and say, everybody that's plugged up right now, I need you to arrest them. But the cable guys won't doing that shit. They won't try to, not in my neighborhood anyway. They won't try to turn people in. I don't know what you do to an individual house, but it was easy. To them, in that day, it was easy to steal cable. Just pop the box, fiddle daddle with some shit. But today, of course, we're going to say compared to the two, it's easier because you're just sitting in your house clicking a button on the device. But what we don't know and don't have the answers and probably never will is the statistical data that says more people steal today than they did back then. It's ludicrous. That is an answer we can never have. So, but I pose a challenge and I would cash out anybody. If y'all can prove to me or show me a contract or something that says somebody has airing rights or syndication rights, that Al Heyman gives his fighters percentages of their airing rights. I keep saying airing because I don't know what's the proper way to say it, but basically like syndication. And I gave y'all an example, like the Cosby Show. They air on several different media outlets. And every time they come on TV, or Martin Lawrence, the Martin Show, every time it come on TV, those actors get a residual check. Same thing with singing, songs and stuff. Same way. Every time it's played, you get a residual check or something like that. Show me where fighters get a residual check based on the percentages that they agreed upon for somebody watching their fights over and over again. That is bullshit. And I gave an example. Golden Boy, all the fights that Floyd Mayweather did with Golden Boy, you can find them on DAZN. All the fights that he did with Golden Boy. Guess who don't really re-air Floyd fights? That's Showtime. Now, that's not to say that HBO, even though they out the boxing business, or Showtime, BET, you name a media outlet, that's not to say that they can't never replay that fight. If they do, they got to pay the people who own the rights to broadcast. And guess what? Fighters don't get those rights, to our knowledge. If they do, they need to show the contract. So can anybody find that out? I guarantee you won't. You won't find that out. I think, like I said, active actors, I think your boy just did not understand what those percentage breakdowns meant. PGH, Big Dog is in the building. What's poppin', King? He said, way too easy to stream these fights. Said, real talk. Said, who knows anything about boxers owning their fights besides Floyd? He said, yes, please. Said, spins. They can't, what you mean spins, active actors? Hold on. He said, I'm wondering if I can replay my ESPN Plus. I think I did with Shields versus Marshall. Now, you as the consumer, like I got the zone. I can go in the zone and pick one of them Floyd fights and look at it again. The zone have the rights to air them because Golden Boy had those broadcast rights. Floyd Mayweather got percentages, i.e. back end money when he fought with Golden Boy. I don't know if Floyd Mayweather got a percentage or something, just stuff like that. That again, this is something we don't know. And that's what I told the guy. I said, I don't know that. I said, I'll admit, I don't know nothing about that. Can you prove it? He never told me how he could prove it. The only way you can prove it is for somebody, one of the fighters, to show the contract where that's exactly what they got. But they never have did that, and they probably never will. The difference between Martin Lawrence show, Bill Cosby show, and a boxing match, Martin Lawrence got enough episodes to consistently run. Nobody's going to continuously run the same boxing match every day. Okay? When something runs on regular TV now, YouTube is not regular TV. But when something runs on regular TV, what happens? They have commercials. Commercials is what pay for episodes and programming. Boxing, if Showtime wants to re-air the boxing match that they broadcasted, Showtime can, because they own the rights. But HBO can't unless they pay Showtime something. BET can't unless they pay Showtime something. That's what I'm saying. He said radio play. PGA said, Queen, I thought they said PBC was folding. Fred, stay strong. No more fake narratives, peoples. PGA, I'm going to read something and maybe that'll be more clear to you or whatever. But I did want to get in this. And active activists, your boy ain't the only one that came at me this weekend. Like, I was like, where all these people come from? And my conclusion is, when it comes to these people coming out the woodwork, every time Terence Crawford does something good for himself, makes a good business move, debunks a narrative, does something that anybody would be proud of, the hate is strong. The besmirching of the character is rampant, or you can say assassination of the character is rampant. The hate comes out strong. They just can't stand it. What has happened in the last few weeks, or last couple of months for that matter, with Terence Crawford? Let's see. He had a fight that y'all said won't go happen, and it happened. I heard all the narratives, the naysayers or whatever. The fight wound up happening. He got paid $10 million. You still have haters saying no, he didn't, but the people who paid him, they said yes, they did pay him $10 million. And him being the recipient, he said he got the $10 million. So just this aside of hate. So that wound up happening, even though the naysayers say no. We find out that he's in Creed 3. He's in a movie. Anybody who likes Creed 3, now I'm sure when you start hearing negative press about Creed 3 or the Creed franchise, y'all know where that shit come from. Why? Because Terence Crawford, dare be in the movie. Somebody dare seek his expertise out. Somebody dare treat him like a human being and treat him fairly and want to pay for his experts. Who the fuck dares to do that to Terence Crawford? The people who made Creed 3. So he's in that movie. He's at the premiere, dressed to kill with his wife. That happened. Also, so he's winning. He's how you say active actors, he's winning. And he's in a boxing game. A lot of people playing that game play as Terence Crawford. It is what it is. Those are big ticket items. Those are nice things that has happened to this man. And the pattern is when good shit happens to him, the hate is visceral. I mean, it comes out hard. The venom that's shot is crazy. So that's one thing. So now you got people taking the Showtime interview with Steven Espinosa out of context. And I'm going to read it right quick. So hold on. Queen, you said, Queen, I thought they said, we read that already. Them Crawford haters not even going to watch Creed 3. Crawford got them jokers 30 hot. Caps and Fools G, what's good with y'all? Been checking you out, man. What's good, Lady T? They said we watching. What's good, MKB? They all talking to each other. ATL, unanimous. What's popping, King? You said Queen T, what's up, shawty? I see you got home in time. Monty King boxing. He said, yep. Earl will get there soon one day. He said, these are jokes. So let me see if I can bring this up. Let me see. Okay, let me go to it so I can read it. All right, this is an article. Steven Espinosa responds to questions about Showtime's future in boxing, right? So you got, and I ain't gonna read all of it, but Espinosa on the fight on if Crawford free agent status hindered making a fight. Steven Espinosa and Bob and Al Heyman go hand in hand. So you already know how it's gonna read, but I'll read it for the Spence and Al Heyman fans. I ain't gonna hold nothing back. He said, I don't think it was a lack of presence of a promoter for Crawford that caused it to break down the first time. I think it was just different expectations and not being able to get to the same page. And then at a certain point, Crawford went in a different direction. Now, if you just reading that and you got common sense, no biggie. It's just, saying it. But, Spence fans will get to this part and say Crawford went a different direction. He abandoned it. He jumped out of the negotiation. He left them high and dry. That little verbiage right there means so much. I just say let them have it. Because when they do fight, we're going to see the real deal. On if he re-engaged Crawford in the talks with Spence to fight. So, they always keep saying that they re-engage in, like Crawford and Spence fight is going to be the one fight or potential fight that people bring up to sell their fights that they got going on. So if Errol Spence is fighting, they'll be like, he's negotiating with Crawford, blah, blah, blah. If Crawford is fighting, he in negotiations with Errol. So what that's going to make fans normally do is watch those guys so you can study them better, so you can see how they get down, so you can, kind of make your pick as to who you going to lean with. And on here it said, this is one where you don't want too many cooks in the kitchen. That means too many people negotiating. And so, look, I want to insert myself where we can be helpful, but I'm not demanding a role in this. So he said, hey, look, I want to get in there and wheel a deal, but I'm going to sit back to the side. If they need me, they'll call me. This is largely a conversation between Crawford and the PBC and TGB, as it should be, because they're sort of negotiating the terms of the fight and the business. So where I can be helpful and provide some information or explain sort of how a deal like this works, I'll explain it. But until someone tags me in and says we can really use the network to mediate or do something like that, I'll sit back because that's the last thing we need is too many cooks in the kitchen. Not enough chiefs. Too many chiefs, not enough Indians. That's basically what he's saying. He's saying in this situation, I'm the Indian, but I can dub as a chief too if y'all need me. I could be the unbiased, fair broker in this. So look at this. On the Showtime's impending merger with Paramount Plus and what that will mean for their boxing program going forward. Now, we have read and read and read, and every day to go on, it's hard to find those articles for whatever reason. I don't know how you got to word it. Maybe it's so many, and the internet is saturated with it. But let's get into it. It's a change that's pretty common in the industry. He said, "Hey, this merger, don't trip. It's regular. If you look at what Disney has done and has done really well in terms of integrating multiple programming services within one app. Notice how they're going to say app a lot. Now, Disney also kind of owns ESPN. So keep that in mind. So, Disney got to swallow up or the people under Disney feel they got to swallow up Showtime, but they don't feel that about ESPN. Okay. There's a certain efficiency there. Warner Brothers is going to go the same way with HBO and Discovery at some point. Now, this is a play on words because we know CBS Sports, we know Paramount Plus, and we know Showtime. So why the fuck is he saying Warner Brothers? But it's all good. It says it's going to go the same way with HBO and Discovery at some point. They're going to put them both on one app and one service. So what he basically saying, to cut through the chase, that Showtime, Paramount Plus, CBS, all of them, they're going to be on one app, one service. And it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you. So it looks like it's going to say that the name is going to be Paramount Plus with Showtime. But it's all going to be one app. App being what is it? App being the operative word. So from a purely financial and business standpoint, once we remerge with Viacom and become eventually Paramount, you see how he said remerge with Viacom and become eventually Paramount. It doesn't make sense to have two different streaming organizations within one. You've got multiple apps within the same company. So I think there's a super competitive streaming environment out there, and it's better to compete as one combined entity than to try to sink or swim on our own. Again, he's talking about getting merged up into Paramount and then having this one app. App being the operative word. So this is just furtherance of what's happening across the industry, trying to the strongest offering and what it says, trying to the strongest offering and a super competitive streaming environment. Talking about streaming. So Showtime as a linear channel is gone. So to answer your question, PGH, Showtime did fold it. Because as a linear channel, which they've been for the last 37, 40 years or whatever, that's gone. So they did fold it. Now, in terms of what it does for boxing, look in the short term. He's saying, now let's get into boxing. Now, keep in mind, Showtime is publicly traded. They all on the stock market. So Steven Espinoza, in case y'all didn't know, when you talk about publicly traded stuff and you're in those key positions, you cannot lie. If you lie, you can go to jail. Because they don't play with that insider trading, stock or whatever. Stock market is based on speculation. Speculation is a real thing. It's a real job. And you can say some shit that's totally not true that can fuck up a stock market and fuck up millions of dollars. So when you work for companies and you have these key positions, you have to watch what you say. Now, if I was working at Showtime and I'm the janitor or whatever, I could come in there and say whatever the fuck I want. It's not going to move or budge the needle. But Steven Espinosa being in charge of the boxing program or sports program at Showtime, he got to watch what he say. So when I read going forward, think about that. Now, in terms of what it does for boxing, look in the short term, there is no change. Remember what I told y'all? Business as usual until it's not. That's just how life works. If you're still in business until they pull the plug, you do business as usual. As if that shit gonna be going on for the next 5 years. That's how you supposed to act. Then he said, we are probably a few days away from announcing a really ambitious schedule, a really robust, active schedule. Some of it has started to leak out, but a lot of it has not. So there is no change going forward. All you learned thus far is that Paramount Plus is sucking up Showtime, the linear channel, and merging it with them. Also, we already know, too, that Steven Espinosa did not get totally fired. They say he got promoted, but he really didn't. He's going over to CBS Sports, and he's working under somebody. You know, and CBS Sports is CBS Sports. So, okay, that was that, right? That's all you learn. So let me go backwards. Okay. This was a long one. Showtime will be absorbed into Paramount Plus. So what could that mean for boxing? So earlier today, Deadline published a story citing internal communication from Chris McCarthy, President and CEO of Paramount Media Networks, and Bob Bakish, President and CEO of parent company Paramount Global, outlining the complete restructuring and rebranding of Showtime Premium Cable Channel before the end of this year. Keyword, before the end of this year. And I'm going to drop the link in a minute, y'all. I'm just reading this stuff because I feel like I need to reiterate it. From the Bakish memo, I'm thrilled to share the next step in our company's evolution. Today, we're announcing that we will be fully integrating Showtime into Paramount Plus across the streaming and linear platforms later this year. So they say later this year, right? Providing even more popular franchise and hit originals for viewers to enjoy. To reflect this change, both our premium streaming tier on Paramount Plus and Showtime Linear Network will become, so they basically say the linear part of Showtime, that's what we know today, and the streaming of Paramount Plus will become Paramount Plus with Showtime in the U.S. That's what it's going to be called. That's new to me because I always say I didn't know what the name was going to be. I always thought it would be Paramount Plus, but when I've read other things that said the plus part of Paramount denotes that it's got this extra stuff with Showtime and extra stuff with whatever. It's a stunning move that marks the end of Showtime's 47-year standalone identity as a premium cable channel. It also marks another evolution of the parent company, formerly known as Viacom CBS. Formerly known, now Viacom CBS is called Paramount. Less than a year after it was also rebranded and restructured as Paramount. You see? A follow-up memo from McCarthy cited an emphasis on redirecting investments into Showtime strengths, saying, so now we're talking about the investments. As a part of Paramount Plus, we can put more resources into building out the lanes that have made the Showtime brands famous, specifically mentioning complex characters and powerful words in scripted series like Yellow Dexter and Billions, amongst others. Conspicuously and completely absent from both the Backish and McCarthy memos outlining both Showtime's notable history and the vision of the future of Paramount Plus, with Showtime's are the words sports and boxing. Do y'all see this? This is very important. Now, when people ask us, you're capping, Miss T, you want them to fail, blah, blah, blah. Look at what I'm going by. Miss T can't want nobody to do nothing. I have no power over there, y'all. Look at what he said, conspicuously and completely absent. Nowhere to be found. In both of the memos, they don't talk about sports or boxing as the future that's going to be beholden to Showtime. They don't mention it at all. Isn't that funny? Not to mention an integral part of the show's programming. They say it's an ominous omission, given a line in McCarthy's memo stating, "We will divert investments away." Now, this is what he's trying to tell y'all. We will divert investments away from the areas that are underperforming and that account for less than 10% of our views. Now, all you got to do to see if that's true is to go look up how much boxing accounts for Showtime views or viewership. There's been several articles written last year for the third quarter, for the fourth quarter, that talked about this very thing, that Showtime, as far as viewership, is batting under 10%. So what this man say, who would know better, who is in the powers, he is the empty suit at the top. He said, we will divert investments away from areas that are underperforming, because by Paramount standards, Showtime boxing was underperforming. And that accounts for less than 10% of our views. And that's what Paramount deemed about Showtime boxing. That's not what Ms. T said. The statement came out shortly before a second deadline report that Showtime will not produce second seasons of original seasons American Gigolo and let the right one in, and will not proceed with the completed first season of Three Women, a new scripted series starring Shailene Woodley and Betty Gilpin, which will be shopped elsewhere. The comments and moves are very reminiscent. Now listen to this part. The comments and moves are very reminiscent of similar transitions at HBO. Well, we all know what happened to HBO, right? Which famously dropped, and they put it in red, dropped boxing completely back in 2018 after 45 years and over 1,000 fights. So they saying basically the comments and how everything, Paramount talking, it's certainly reminiscent, meaning alike, sounds like the same shit HBO was talking before they dropped all boxing. Then VP of HBO Sports, Peter Nelson, said at the time, our audience research informs us that boxing is no longer a determining factor for subscribing to HBO. And that's what Paramount said also about Showtime. Not even 2 years later, Nelson joined boxing in the formerly of HBO category as part of an ongoing disengagement from sports programming and the layoffs of over 600 Warner Media and AT&T employees. Now, we already seen that Showtime or Paramount has laid off 120 Showtime employees. Yeah, they did 25% or something like that. So they are reminiscent of how HBO went through it. So pretty much they're going to go the way of HBO. Bet on this weekend's fights and all of the upcoming. This is bet. It says since then, HBO and the streaming platform currently known as HBO Max have been a part of a series of spin-offs, mergers, rebranding, and reorganizations involving cancellation of existing properties and the vaulting of completed projects never to be released for cost saving and tax break benefits. For a boxing fan, it is all distressingly similar, only this time with boxing future unmentioned and unresolved rather than eliminated at the start of the process. If the worst does not come to pass, it will mark the end of almost 37 years of boxing on Showtime and the last of boxing on premium linear cable channels in the United States. And what they talking about there is Showtime is a linear channel. So if boxing don't come on there, that is a departure from us watching um, boxing on these channels. When they're free, they come on Saturday night. They'll repeat Sunday or throughout the week. When they're pay-per-view, they'll come on Saturday night, and then the very next Saturday, they'll play the whole thing. Now, for a while, Showtime. I don't know who over there making decisions. Showtime. I'm gonna tell you where you lost some people. I know for a fact, like, you pissed some fans off when you played the Showtime pay-per-view. If people like boxing that much, they're going to pay for it. The very next week, it comes on for free. The whole card. For some time now, Showtime was coming on only showing the main event. That pissed people off, especially real boxing fans. They be making moves, is what I'm basically saying. That's probably caused their demise. It's their moves. Whatever was working, don't fix. I do agree. Like I said, a reset of boxing need to be. You need to pay people adequately, but responsibly. You don't need, and that means don't overpay nobody. When PBC came out, they was such in a rush to get popping and everything. They was overpaying and caused a lot of people to run over there to them. Probably most of their people that ran over to them came from Golden Boy. Why wouldn't you want to get with PBC? You getting fights, you getting exposure, and you getting paid big time. But it wasn't sustaining. And that's where bad business come into play. They're not the only ones. The Zone did the same thing. And the Zone had to turn around, tuck their tail, and go back to Europe because they did the same thing. Demetrius Andre has been released from his contract with the Zone. Why? Because Eddie Hearn can't do that shit no more. He can't overpay you no more. Tevin Farmer been dropped. All these people. But in the beginning, Matchroom was paying everybody big time. And if you were smart, you would have ran over there. Daniel Jacobs ran over there. Remember? So even though that's good when you just get on the scene, it's not good in the long run. So the reset has to come. The reset of Floyd Mayweather era, numbers, metrics, all that has to change. It's not up for me to change it or you to change it as a fan. It has to change. And until they change it, the benchmarks are what they are. As I was telling my friend, my homeboy, and his friend, we can't change it no matter how we feel. We don't have that kind of power. But if they want to reset the whole model, they could. You don't got to overpay nobody. Pay people adequately, though, and fairly, but don't overpay. At the same time, don't overcharge. So let's get back to it. The potential end of Showtime boxing would also have obvious second and third order effects on Al Haymon's Premier Boxing Champions, a primary Showtime broadcast partner and major content provider, potentially the current boxing pay-per-view. Now, I say that motherfuckers have a cow. This article said it too. So, I mean, just to show y'all something. You know what I'm saying? Just to show y'all something. You can't refute that shit. I got something else to show y'all too, but let me get through these chats. He said that's nonsense. Some of elite boxers like their regiment Met and PBC would rather you stall yourself as a professional. And you said 38 hot. He said weaseling his way out of is what Espinosa doing. Now the reason why I brought up the Espinosa little article because I had somebody, one of my friends, not your boy active actors, but one of my friends try to hit me up about some YouTube creator, I ain't call no names, the big liar, and how they talking about what Espinosa was saying. And that's why I broke down each sentence as common sense as I can. You know what I'm saying? But here you go right here. Laugh out loud. He said, yeah, 38. I just say different words sometimes. He said, oh, see, interesting. He said, Boss T, what's up, General Big Fish? What's poppin' King? He said, Floyd did that. He said, drop the link, laugh out loud. I am, boom. And he said, Danny Garcia thinks he's a $10 million boxer. Still, I don't understand the pay scale I got him on, especially if you're a loser. So I'm gonna go ahead and invite the active activists. But yeah, I'm telling you, the hate has built up and everything, and it's the pattern. Look, one thing I'm good at is noticing patterns. I was an analyst for a reason, and this is a pattern. Whenever Terence Crawford does something right or good, just for him, ain't got nothing to do with nobody else. What he gains ain't a T game. It's not my game. It's not a y'all game. It's his game. But when that man does something right and do something good, motherfuckers have a problem. And that's when the hate come out real strong and they be adamant about it. Like, just like they just got to say something, Let me show y'all this. This was a list of a cable network that accidentally leaked out their schedule. And as y'all see, Terence Crawford and Spence is right there set for June. Hold on, active. I got you in here. I don't know why. Can you hear me? Hold on.
Oh, yeah, I can hear you. I'm just muted. I can hear you.
So, yeah, let me bring that list back up. So that list, as y'all see, they don't have a date yet, but you can speculate and go wild with it however you want. It put a smile on my face because I was like, maybe. But I ain't going to let myself get all worked up and shit because you just don't know. But everything on this man's list as an event that's supposed to happen, whether it's wrestling, boxing, or whatever, they all signed, sealed, delivered, and delivered legit. Straight legit. So the only one that's in question is the Bud Crawford and Spence. If you want to say something in question. As I say, I'm not going to get all up in arms and get happy about it because I don't know. But they did accidentally, and it says it in the article, they accidentally, legitimately put that list out. So, active activists, you want to chime in? You said drop the link. What's good with you?
Man, I really just had the realization with you breaking down, the boxing platforms that have been staples over the years and how they just fall into the wayside, right? That's why I said in the chat, Floyd did that. And I had to think about it. And yeah, it's time for a reset because the Floyd era has destroyed the equilibrium in the balance of the boxing world because everybody want to give Floyd money. Everybody want to give Floyd shine, but everybody not Floyd. And like you say all the time, what was meant for Floyd was meant for Floyd. And as me, you, and my boy discussed, yesterday, he came at a time where the soil was right for him to be that superstar, and he was boxing. If Floyd Mayweather was boxing, you can say, Manny Pacquiao wasn't far behind him, but Floyd Mayweather was the top draw in boxing. And when he left HBO in 2013 and went to Showtime,
Mm-hmm.
that was the beginning of the downfall of HBO. Because what does that mean for HBO? They can't pull a superstar pay-per-view anymore. They can't do them numbers like that because the biggest draw in boxing is not coming to y'all network. And then okay, Showtime had they run, and then as we've seen since he has formally retired, they've been on the decline as well. So everybody that has got a taste of that Floyd success, who has gotten some of that Floyd bag, once that bag is gone, they days are numbered. So yeah, it's time for a reset.
And that's across the board with everybody. We don't get to say it much because soon as we start talking about the inconsistencies and the errors of PBC, you can't even get through the whole conversation with common sense because everybody in their feelings. Niggas, like I said, yo boy, he touched the nerve when he said, "Oh, they get percentage for that." I was like, "What? They get a
Yeah,
percentage
hey,
for their
and that's what I was
syndication?"
saying in the chat. Yeah, please. That's all I'm asking. If y'all been on any other show, heard any other content creator, read any article, anything that's talking about, and you said it right, because that's how I phrased it. Any boxer getting airing rights after the fact for they fight to be re-aired on whatever network. If you have heard anybody say that or seen any article alluding to that, please send it to my sister, please. Cause I want to see that shit. Cause my boy said that and I was like, so she asked him, she was like, can you prove that? And he was like, nah. But Al Heyman, that's why they going to Al Heyman. He was basically saying common sense will tell you Al Heyman must be doing something different. Hence why all these people are, going up under his tutelage or his advisorship, because he's an
Mm-hmm.
advisor. He isn't a manager. He isn't a promoter, whatever. He's an advisor. This is just somebody that, it's just like in the entertainment industry, right? You have a manager and you have an agent. A manager can't negotiate no contracts. Your agent can negotiate contracts, but a manager can't talk numbers with nobody. So I don't know what the exact rules are in boxing, and if Al Heyman is just having a good stern talking to with these boxers and telling them, all right, when you go in and set your contract, make sure it say this, A to Z, blah blah blah. But whatever the case, like she said, until we see some kind of evidence of that, maybe some people will believe that. That's easy for some people to believe. For me and her, that's not so easy to believe because I mean, it's just again, we
And I
haven't
mean,
heard anybody say that.
it's just
And,
common
and like I say,
sense.
Floyd is the only person we know that we can say for sure got ownership of his fights, and we can say with a nice degree of certainty, if any network airs his fights after he that's under Mayweather Promotions,
Mm-hmm.
he's getting some kind of payment for that.
Floyd owns his likeness. Floyd owned a lot of stuff. Floyd was one of them fighters in the beginning of his career when he was a little Rudy Poo. He just never went the way of sponsorship and trying to latch on to nobody. He was his own entity. In fact, it wasn't until later in his career that he
Yeah,
started
when he was still
advertising.
pretty boy.
Yeah,
Yeah, when he was
when
still
he
pretty
advertised
boy, he was cool and low key. Yeah.
with Hublot. But what I'm saying is, I gave the example in case any of this shit is confusing. Because when your boy said it was confusing to me, because I was like, what? You using it as a measuring stick as to why you would want to go sign with Al, because nobody else does this for their fighters. And I was like, as far as we concerned, the public, nobody does it for any fighter. That's what I'm gonna say, because that is something that we never talk about. You can't say, well, look, sweetheart, you want to come over here to fight with Al? When Al giving ownership rights to your fights, or you want to go over there to Matchroom where they ain't doing that shit. And that's kind of how he was saying it. But when he
Yeah.
kept saying percentages, I was like, is he trying to talk about the back end? But if you think about it, I'm gonna give you a good example. AJ just signed a multi-million-dollar deal with the Zone. It's like a 10-year deal. He riding out the rest of his career with the Zone and Matchroom. AJ has always, the people who had the rights to broadcast AJ fights, they were called Sky Sports. Yes, it went on the Zone, but the Zone worked with Sky Sports, right? In that capacity. Sky Sports aired or rebroadcasted, broadcasted AJ and Usyk fight. That was the last fight of AJ's that Sky Sports gets to do. They had the rights. Because think about it. What network do the Middle East got that we got? None. So the Middle East, whoever's broadcasting over there, they got somebody over here got to buy the rights to air that broadcast. That's how it works, these networks. So
yeah,
Sky
for
Sports,
those of you who don't know, yeah, Sky Sports is basically the ESPN of UK primarily, but Sky Sports is the European version of ESPN.
Yeah. So Sky Sports got that bid, not the Zone. That's it for them. Because now every AJ fight going forward is the Zone. Straight up, straight down. If Sky Sports wants a piece, they gotta pay for it. You know, like pay for
they gotta buy. Yeah, they gotta buy in some kind of way. Yeah,
a rebroadcast though, not the airing of, but a rebroadcasting. If ESPN want a piece of that, they gotta buy into the broadcaster so the people in the States can see it. But you're gonna be paying the Zone or whatever the case when it's AJ, especially if you go to the Middle East. Now we hear US fighters talking about going over there. So we already know it's either gonna be ESPN, Fox, or Showtime, right? So whoever is not, they gotta pay the person it is. Now, how do you attribute, as I'm talking about your boy, that type of transaction on that level to individual fighters? That don't work like that. I can go pull up an AB fight on YouTube right now, and I promise you, AB don't get no money from me looking at that fight. Not like we can look at Cosby Show and Martin Lawrence show on TNT, USA, whatever channel, BET, whatever, that's rebrought in syndication. And the reason why Martin and Tisha Campbell and Tachina Arnold and all them getting a check is because what comes on when you watching the shows? Commercials.
Do
you see what I'm saying? So when your boy said that, he used it as a measuring stick, and it's a way to get off-putted when you're trying to make points. It ain't just your boy. I had Coleman coming at me this week, active activists. I had a lot of people coming at me, and I was like, well, what is going on? I was like, what's going on?
Something in the water, man.
Hey, I recognize the pattern, Shawty. The pattern is what happened this week. You can't knock this boy. You will only be hating. What happened? The premiere of Creed 3. Creed 3 is a franchise.
Yep, it dropped tomorrow night.
Yeah, and he was at a premiere. He was at a premiere with your boy Michael B. Jordan. So that happened. The game just dropped not that long ago, like a month or so ago. And it's just looking all good for Terrence. And so now all this hate, like this, I was like, what y'all tripping on? Like, and I know my boy ATL, what's up, bro?
ATL, what up, bro?
What up, activists? What's going on?
Chilling, man, on this road.
He always say he tired of talking about it, and I feel him. You know what I'm saying? But I only bring up stuff when new stuff drop. But I feel ATL when he say he tired of talking about this. You just gonna be talking in circles. But the pattern is, for me, the pattern is whether it's Earl or Terrence, something new happened, I'm speaking on it. Because that's an update. If somebody asks me a question, I'll tell them in the beginning. I'll be like, look, this question was posed to me. I decided to make the show about it. But other than that, I'll talk about other fighters and this, that, and the other for real, for real. But what has happened? Crawford's looking good this week. He's looking good, and people
Crawford getting some
hating.
shine, huh?
He getting some shine. It's the same thing as when PBC put on a fight, a good card, and what can you guarantee gonna happen? You can guarantee Eddie Hearn gonna come try to shit on PBC card and motherfucker put on the card that same night. It's like clockwork, ain't that right, ATL? Eddie Hearn gonna do that shit every time. They don't even like PBC, Top Rank, all these people. They don't even address Eddie Hearn no more because they were like, man, this shit is typical. This nigga gonna do it anytime. He does it all the time. You can set your watch to that shit, and that's what I'm seeing. Whenever Terrence get good news or do something great, watch how the hate, exacerbate. Damn, that was a good little rhyme right there.
Let's ask. Oh, hold on. We gonna pose the question to brother ATL because he's in the know. ATL,
What up?
have you ever heard from another content creator, seen an article, heard a boxer talk about a manager, team member, promoter, etc. talk about how fighters are going to Al Heyman because Al Heyman is making sure that they get the rights to their fight in their contracts. Basically saying they getting the rights. Like we know Mayweather owns his fights. That's under Mayweather promotion. But basically saying these individual fighters that are affiliated with Al Heyman, he's their advisor because he ain't a manager, he ain't an agent, he ain't a promoter, he's an advisor. So these people that deal with him are going to mess with him because supposedly he's making sure they getting some kind of cut when their fights are re-aired on whatever network. Have you ever heard that or seen that?
No, I ain't heard nothing about that one.
There you go. I don't know what your boy was talking about. And because I absolutely said first, and you correct me if I'm wrong, active. I said, now I don't know that, but prove it. Like that's all I was saying. Because I think he's misguided on what percentages is. And that's why it's crazy. So I'm gonna tell y'all guys, loud capping. Look, I'm that person. I can't stand it. It's a flaw with me. It's an issue. And active actors, you know why? Because I grew up with older siblings that loud cap and over top. I can't stand that shit. But I don't have no defense against it. I don't operate in that. So now my thing is, if you're gonna be loud capping and it's a one-way conversation, I'm gonna let you out of flow. I'm gonna let you ask the question and answer it. Because I'm not gonna fucking loud cap or I'm not gonna try to. But it ain't gonna be no one-sided conversation. And that's kind of how I was feeling with your boy. That struck a nerve too.
Who you talking about?
It's my homeboy, like my play brother. We had a 3-way conversation, and then it turned into a 4-way. She brought in Miss Destiny, and it kind of shit went a little left, but it was all in fun. But yeah,
he he's
a big he's LDBC Trill Boxing. Like he down with the squad, big Spence fan, and he definitely is on team now. He thinks Terence is a duck, and we was having a conversation about that.
Yeah.
But ATL feel that, and I feel the opposite. But like, I can't change your mind how you feel about each fighter. But
exactly.
But don't argue stuff and set up measuring sticks on shit that don't matter. Like it matter.
It ain't even nothing to argue about, honestly, because at the end of the day, I just feel like we don't know these people, so what the hell we all got our blood pressure all high and shit for? Like, it would be nice to meet him one day, but you know what I'm saying? How you gonna fight somebody and be angry over somebody you don't even know? You like them, but you don't even know them. That shit sound like some female shit. You feel me? Like some girl.
Y'all gonna start putting that negative shit on the females now.
No, I'm just saying.
Get an amen, listen,
no, I'm just saying. As crazy as it sounds, I like Errol Spence. You like Terence Crawford. He like, you know what I'm saying, Crawford.
Yeah.
But what is we arguing for? I ain't ever met Spence. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never met him personally.
No, no. What I
You know
was
what I'm
asking
saying?
you is why every time it's some negative stuff, like y'all acting like a bunch of females, like
Okay,
females don't.
this is what I meant to say, Miss T. It's kind of like arguing over a woman.
No.
You know what I'm saying? We don't go with Spence or Crawford, so it's like, why we arguing? That's what I meant to say. Like, it's like
Yeah.
you in your home but arguing about a girl, but y'all ain't even, you know what I'm saying? You ain't met, you ain't even,
Ain't neither one of y'all with her, but
you know what I'm
y'all
saying?
arguing over.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
look, I let y'all boys be y'all boys. You know,
What
I know
what I'm
y'all
trying to
talk
really
like
say
that,
is like, I
but I
fuck with
just,
Spence, and people got to
yeah,
understand this. Yeah, I fuck with Spence, and I fuck with him over Crawford, but I don't hate Crawford. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I want to see the best for both of them. It's not that serious for me to be getting on here and getting my blood pressure all high and shit. The shit is said and done. We don't know when it's gonna fight, and I'm not for even worry about it. Like I keep telling you, until I see a date, or I see them meeting, or I see them sitting down at a press conference. You know what I'm saying?
you
Yeah,
see,
What are your thoughts? Yeah, I was about to
yeah.
say ATL. Yeah, what are your thoughts on that? On the leaked
date.
tentative date of they fight?
It don't mean shit to me.
He kind of said the same thing. I'm
Swear
not
to
gonna let
God,
myself get
it
worked
don't
up,
mean nothing to me, man.
but I was smiling though, because everything
That's
on this
like
list is legit.
Miss T. That's
So,
like me
but
making a fake doctor's note for work. I know how to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like anybody could put that shit up, man. If I don't hear from
no,
either one of them, you know what I'm saying?
it was
I
in
mean,
their
but that was the
schedule.
thing. It was
It was
legit.
legit.
That
Yeah, it
was
was in their
legit. It
schedule.
wasn't Photoshop. It was
Mm-hmm.
legit that the
Yeah.
network did leak that. But it's like, I mean, I guess the way when I saw it, I looked at it like, well, damn. So they have been having some contract negotiations behind the scenes,
Yeah,
but I'm trying to figure out how are they working
Why?
everything in when
yeah.
Spence got the mandatory against Thurman, and then the
Mm-hmm.
thing popped up with uh Bud got his mandatory. I'm like, well, damn, what they forgetting about their mandatories? Like, how they getting around that and scheduling a fight that close? You know, that soon in the year. If they both got mandatories, they're supposed to
Mm-hmm.
be in it this month or next year. Within March or April, they got fights they supposed to be having.
Well, I looked at it like when the schedules come out for these different cable networks or any network, you want to lock in. You want to grab your spot. Now, if as you get close to the spot, if you can't make it, it ain't nothing for the network to find something else to put in your place. Real easy. You know, somebody can come up with something because that's how already. It's not like BLK when he kept pulling Adrian's opponent, you mess up the whole fucking card. Where the network is established, you know, they could throw anybody in there or move the co-main event up to the main
Mm-hmm.
event. They could do anything like that. So they could go from, well, instead of it being Terence and Bud, we're gonna make our co-main, whoever they were, the main event, and we're gonna take it out for pay-per-view. And the show will have gone on. But I like it's
Yeah, you
I'm
right. It
not
ain't like the whole fight gotta be the
mm-hmm.
whole fight night gotta be canceled because one fight don't happen.
Yeah, but like I said, I read to y'all how everybody going by the way of the app. I also wanted to show y'all this to show y'all that Showtime do have an app. Where now? Hold on. Where's, I don't know where it is. Hold on, I'm gonna have to find it. But where is that? I know I got it. That's one
You know,
story.
I'm gonna tell you why you looking for it, right?
So,
I'm gonna tell you what I really want to see from Spence right now. Throughout what everybody talking about, right? And it's only for one reason that I want to see Spence do this. Since he said he moving to 154, right?
mm-hmm.
I don't know if y'all been paying attention to like Charlo, Jamel Charlo, but he had posted a post like a couple of weeks ago, like anybody could bring it. You know what I'm saying? Like anybody. And he posted a fish or some shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
By him saying that, like with Spence already saying what he wanted to do and how he was gonna do it. I want to see him just since he talking that shit, I want to see him just go straight into Jamel, since Jamel, you know what I'm saying, feel like that. You know what I'm saying?
I would love to too, but he has to be. I feel you though, ATM. But
Yeah, I
in
feel you.
different
I'm with you on that.
circumstances, he has to be really strategic because in this day and era in boxing, people are real clever with not putting fights on and avoiding people. Even top tier fighters are very clever at avoiding other fighters, and even bottom tier fighters are good at avoiding other fighters. And he gonna do what Canelo did when David Benavidez lost his belt. What did Canelo do? Swoop the fuck in. But as long as David had that belt, Canelo won't gonna never be undisputed. And I can say that with a straight face. I can't guarantee that shit, but I'm 99.9% sure that Canelo was never gonna be undisputed as long as David Benavidez had that belt. And I'm sure a lot of people think that way. But as soon as he lost that belt, Canelo just went for the gusto. And that was his ticket and his road to undisputed. And that's gonna be the same thing with Spence. Crawford has the right to feel what he feel. Spence has a right to feel what he feel. If Crawford feels like ain't nobody fighting him, because a lot of us see that. But let's just talk about him, the individual. If ain't nobody fighting him and he can't get a fight with nobody, because Boots could have picked Crawford, but he didn't. Virgil could have picked Crawford, but he didn't. All these people could have picked Crawford, but they didn't. So Crawford could feel a certain kind of way, like, I'm not gonna give up this belt and back off because all they're gonna do is go for the belt and then go for undisputed, and it's gonna be what it's be because fans of Crawford gonna feel the way they feel, and fans of Spence gonna feel the way they feel, and ain't nobody gonna change nobody's mind. And I'm gonna be put behind the 8 ball. I don't
I
believe.
wouldn't feel like that. I'm gonna tell you why. Because just like Crawford came from his other divisions with his belts to get where he at. You know, Spence ain't never moved up yet. So if he move up and be great, shit, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Past is the past. If the fight never happened, it is what it is. You know, everybody know that it would be the greatest boxing and the greatest fight in boxing right now. But shit, everybody got their own business, their own family to take care of. So shit, regardless, you know what I'm saying? Terence did his division moves up and did what he did. So shit, it's just time for Spence to do what he do. You know what I'm saying? If we can't get the fight, Spence just move up and do what he do, and you know, let it be what it be. Let both of them be great. You know what I'm saying? Make their money, take care of their family. You know what I'm saying?
Let both of them be strategic. And Spence got to be strategic. You know, I couldn't see why Spence would push that narrative for him. That's strategic. Now, active is why you want to see it go that way.
I mean, I could understand that. I mean, remember I told you, you know, 4 or 5 years ago, the boxing talk of Texas was the Charlos. We ain't give a fuck about Spence like talking about. Like, he was good, but we was worried about the Charlos. You know, it's a lot going on there. The fact that they twins, and then especially me, I'm a Houston dude. They from Houston. So, you know, I was rocking with the Houston people, but they was the big draw out of the Texas boxers or whatever then. And it's like, we've always felt like they're great boxers, great fighters. They're both exciting to watch. So I feel like, yeah, if, you know, I know they cool or whatever, you know, they done sparred and they practice and they hang and rub elbows, but it's like whenever one of them, like ATL said, if Charlo gonna talk that shit, I Spence, fuck the friendship. Y'all both professional fighters. You got to put up or shut up. If a nigga out here calling you out, if that's your homeboy, if y'all had, hey, what we say, if it was a gentleman's agreement made somewhere along the way, well, somebody broke the gentleman's agreement. So now it is what it is. You're gonna let him call you out, and then you just gonna run, and then if you duck Charlo like that, like you say, he gotta be strategic in so many good fights that he could make. If he can figure out how to make all of them, good for us. But if
Just think
he
about it
got to
like this.
figure out how to make at least one of them.
Exactly. But look at this activist, right? Tell me if I'm lying, right? People tend to forget about this shit. Right? They really forget about this shit, right? Deontay Wilder. You know what I'm saying? This man called up Fury and told this man to come back to boxing. Fury didn't want to box no more. Fury brought this man back to boxing. I mean, Wilder brought Fury back to boxing. People tend to forget about that. Wilder fought Ortiz when didn't nobody else want to fight Ortiz
Nobody wanted to fight him.
That's
to
That's
help
right.
him and his family. Wilder fought his sparring partner, Hellenius. They put money in his pocket because he ain't never really got no big fight like that. You know what I'm saying? That's how it need to be, man. And people tend to forget that. Yeah, Tyson Fury, he at the top right now, but because of who? Who brought him to his depression? Who brought him back to boxing, man? And people, they so simple-minded and don't think about certain shit, man, that they forget that shit, bro. Wilder brought Fury back.
You're right, bro.
Mm-hmm. Hey,
It ain't the fact that he cheated or none of that shit. He brought him back and Fury done him dirty. That's how he really feel about the situation. But back to my point, Wilder put people on. He fought people to put them on regardless of what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
He wasn't scared to take a chance, and he was all about giving opportunities.
Exactly.
Active activist, I gotta give you a compliment, bro. What you doing in the gym? That nigga look cut up over there. Y'all see that?
Hey man, I did a 3-day dry fast last week, baby. I'm still lean, baby. 37, but still got my 27-year-old body.
Hey, man, tell him. Tell him.
Soldier boy, tell him. I'm like looking over there. I'm like, look at this nigga over there flexing and shit.
Yeah,
looking like he got a
we
muscle
still
shirt on.
got an activist.
Like you got the muscle shirt on. I feel y'all.
I do. This my dry wick. You know, my easy sweat shirt. Stay cool while I'm in this hot ass truck.
I know. Look, ladies in the chat, calm down.
She said, calm down.
I was like, look, my boy over there, my little
bro.
No,
I had my wife beat on. I had to put my shirt on. I ain't want my wife in here. I ain't want to show too much.
Hey, that's right. Hey, yeah, she got to show the shoulders,
you know
baby.
What I'm saying? You know, I'm 40 and fine. You know what I'm saying?
You better tell him. You better tell him, ATL.
40 and fine.
Y'all ladies, calm down to the dudes on my show. So look, man, if I can get boo boo on this bitch. Woo.
She said, woo.
But listen, I do want to give a shout out to Showtime. I told y'all I praise them when I can. I ain't just no hater. I be just speaking what I know, what I call facts. This is probably where they're gonna go. So it's not. Once I saw this, I was like, okay, it's not so doom and gloom. They do have an app and it's up and running. So it's not like they got a last minute put the app together. It's not going to be a network, but maybe with all these fighters or these promotional companies and everybody having to go the way of the app, maybe that's how we're going to get our reset active activists in ATL in boxing. Maybe that would be the way, because when you're doing the app, it's about your promoter's money and whoever he can get to invest. Yep. And you ain't gonna fuck over nobody's investment.
That's right. And then it'll come down. It's an easy way. I feel like it's an easy way and a good way to reset, because it will be easy to justify what the boxers are getting paid. Hey, you gotta be attractive enough to get a certain amount of subscribers to this app to justify the salary that you expect to get, or you're gonna have to adjust your salary. Like, you know, you can't be, I want 10 million or however many million a year, but you ain't getting no subscribers. You ain't pulling in nobody to buy the app to watch your fight. No. And I feel like it gotta be like, you know, it kind of has to get to the point where it's kind of like a team sport. Like, everybody on the team can't get paid what LeBron get paid. Whose team is it? So the big stars in each promotion company, yeah, okay, they should get the top dollar. And then it should be a thoroughly in sharply defined pecking order behind them. Like, yeah, people should come in. If Spence the top dog, don't come to me talking about making what Spence make or within 80% of what Spence make. You probably starting off at what half he make or less. That's being realistic and being fair. But like I say, microwave society, instant gratification. Everybody want to be Floyd, even though they ain't did what Floyd did.
And Martin King, yeah, that's the Showtime app. And like I said, them two fights that I was talking about since the new year started, and they were supposed to be on Showtime, and I turned to Showtime to watch it. They were supposed to be free fights. I'm assuming now that they went on the app. Now again, you're gonna have to pay for this app. Now I'm gonna tell you, Steven Espinoza, I've shown y'all the receipts, but I'll repeat it again. He's being moved over. They call it a promotion, but it's really not. He's being moved over to be under somebody who's top dog over there at CBS Sports. Now, y'all been looking at CBS Sports, I'm sure. They show more of football, soccer, shit like that. Not a lot of boxing. So for the 200 plus you got on your stable, that's going to be kind of hard for you because that means a lot of PBC fighters are not going to get exposure. And that's going to determine whether a lot of people want to run over there to PBC. But they do have an app. They could strike a deal with the Zone. I doubt if they tried to get with ESPN because I think Bob Arum got that locked up. But they're going to have to do something. And the key word from the shit that I read, y'all should ascertain that they said sometime this year. You already seeing it now, but sometime this year. As a matter of fact, if you want to get Paramount Plus with Showtime, they offering a free code. It probably come with this 30 days free, and you do the code thing, and you will pay $5.99, or you can bundle and save and pay $11.99 a month, or you can pay $99 a year. I mean, they're gonna have a lot of different prices. You know what I'm saying? But you know what this explains, y'all? This explains why Showtime kept giving several times this, last year, free 30 days. Do y'all remember that? And it was more than 30 days. Like, I had Showtime from all of May to August. August is when they start charging me. Free. Don't know why. I signed up for the 30-day free, but, Showtime desperate. They're not showing that nobody's subscribing to them for their boxing. Nobody's, it's not a lot of viewership with them for boxing. And this is the only reason. It's not Errol's fault. It's not Crawford's fault. It's the only reason why Paramount is saying,
Miss T,
kind of done with them. What's up?
I think I'm gonna do a whole live on Deontay Wilder tonight.
Oh damn! Yeah, because Deontay said PBC ain't paid them. They owe them $30 million.
Yeah, I ain't worried about that, but I'm gonna do a live on how he helped people out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that'd be good. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to ATL.
Yeah, please. Yeah, check out my bro. This what I want to ask though, right? Talking about PBC and these 200 fighters, right? Do PBC have 200 superstars? No. Hell no, they don't got 200 superstars. So my thing is like, for what you said, and I'm sure other people have said that too, but it's like, so what? The majority of they fighters ain't gonna get exposure. The majority of them ain't supposed to get exposure. Maybe the top 10%, maybe 20 out there 200 are noteworthy and worth talking about. Like, yeah, the whole 200, the whole roster don't get shine like that. Again, the bench warmers don't get primetime TV spots and interviews. Ain't nobody asking the last nigga to come off the bench to go do Saturday Night Live or Jay Leno or whoever. And it's the same thing. You don't get the TV spots if you're not in the top 20 in your count. That's just what it is. Like, you're with them because for whatever reason you've decided that you like they pay structure, or you like the other boxers that's on they squad under that promotion, or whoever, whatever it is you like about them is why you with them. But you have to work your way up and become in that top 10% within that company so you can get put on TV. Ain't no way they could schedule enough fights and showcase all 200 fighters. Can't no boxing promotion do that. But the top 10%, I could see them working that, because you can have a what's the name? You can have one good boxing card and maybe show 10 of them. You can show 10 of your fighters in a night.
But here's the thing, Patrick, active activist. So when you put on the card, like we see it on the East Coast, card come on at 9:00, right? Whether it's free or pay-per-view, right? But what a lot of people don't understand, that they probably forgetting, the card
it was fights before
started,
that.
Yeah, it started
exactly.
at 2:00.
Yep.
2:00 in the afternoon. So in order for you to put on a card like that, you gotta have a stable. You have to have a stable for your incidental fighters that don't make the TV exposure. But in the end of the day, what make people run over to PBC? Because PBC wants a stable, Golden Boy wants a stable, Top Rank wants a stable. And matter of fact, most of the stable that PBC got came from running from Golden Boy, which you see how it affected them. They fell off. So everybody wants a stable. What makes the person want to come fuck with you or fuck with your brand? Because they got to see how you successful or not. And if you're not successful, there ain't nobody gonna want to fuck with your brand. What's up, ATL?
Horror stories. Yeah.
You check your cash app?
Oh no, I ain't seen that come through. Oh, it be quiet, man. I gotta put a sound effect or something. I don't know how to do it.
No, I want you to read it though.
Okay. Let me get it. Let me go to it. Hold on.
Yeah, you right. You got these promotion companies out here that got these bad reps, and let Deontay keep talking about PBC owing them all these millions. You know, these some of these boxing promotion companies gonna get the reputation like Bad Boy. Oh no, don't sign the Bad Boy. They gonna be the Bad Boy or in the death row of boxing.
He said he ATL, thanks a lot for chipping in for the case of water. Anybody else want to give me a case of water? Gave me $5. Let's see cash apps too. You know what I'm saying? But
I'm a cash app you for the water.
Definitely. I know, right? Cash app me for some water. So yeah, you right. Like Jaguar, right? Call her crazy, whatever the fuck you want to call her. That girl said, look at what happened when you go to Bad Boy. You pretty much get one good album or exposure out, and then shit happens to you. You fall off. Motherfuckers dying. Why would I want to run over the Bad Boy if that's the fate of most people? And that's how people gonna look at these entities, boxing entities. If Golden Boy wakes up and have a resurgence, as it seems like they doing, y'all better keep your eye on Golden Boy. If they have this resurgence that I think is coming, because B-Hop in y'all face. B-Hop letting him be known. And he got a leg to stand on because he got stuff he can point to.
Man, nobody want to be hot.
But if they rise up and start putting on better cars and shit,
man, be hot like Al Sharpton.
Shut up, man. People start running to Golden Boy. What y'all gonna do? Or people when Eddie Hearn first came out, guess what? Then everybody run over. Then Danny Jacobs leave PBC to run over to Eddie Hearn. Yes, he did all that shit.
Let's see.
Because it looked better.
I don't mean to be disrespectful in that, right?
But you
only thing I actually remember about Bernard Hopkins, right? I think he beat Roy Jones, right?
Yeah, I think he did.
You know what I'm saying? But I never seen the fight, right? So I just remember him, or remember something I seen him saying, because I ain't never watched Bernard Hopkins like that, even back in the day. I heard him say, I never get knocked out. You know what I'm saying? By no white boy, right?
And got smooth the
And then
fuck
I
knocked
seen the
out.
fight, and then I seen his ass get knocked out the ring. I was like, what the hell?
He
He
was
got knocked out the
so
Who knocked him out? Kelly Pavlik.
man,
nah.
knocked him
One
out the
one of them
ring.
was it Callum Smith or one of them motherfuckers or something? I don't remember. It might have been
Yeah,
Pavlik. It might have been Kelly Pavlik.
they knocked his ass out the ring.
Some white guy knocked his ass smooth the fuck out.
Out the ring. It was not just out.
Mm-hmm.
Out the
Oh,
Yeah.
ring.
he got the Rocky Balboa catastrophic through the
Man,
ring knockout,
that's
huh?
I
Through the
swear to
ropes.
God, that's the only fight that I ever seen of Bernard Hopkins. I never seen no other fight, but I seen him get knocked out the ring, and I never seen nobody get knocked out the ring. Show. I was like, damn.
Oh, and by the way, though, Bernard Hopkins, why I say it's a resurgence, because now he can point to some of the inconsistencies with PBC and say, see, and this is what I was telling you. Even when your contract ends, PBC got something in there where they get first dibs. So imagine you end your contract, whether you like PBC or not, and you go somewhere else and you do a fight, and you gotta pay the new people you sign with, but you always, no matter where you go, gotta pay Al Heyman 30%. Now
Missy,
everybody would say, hold on. Everybody gonna say, Al Heyman, man, that's business. He's smart, he's tough, but it's not right. And plus, what was the other thing? Like I keep, go ahead. I'm gonna have to jump in when I remember it. Go ahead, ATL.
but just imagine getting knocked out the ring.
Yeah, it was embarrassing. It was straight embarrassing.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that was the first time I ever seen that in boxing, period, for me. And I never, like I told you, I never watched his fight, so I ain't trying to down him or nothing. But he said he'd never get beat by a white boy, but he got knocked out the fucking ring. That shit blew me, bro.
And that's why they got on Devin Haney for saying it. You remember
But yeah,
Devin Haney said it?
he didn't.
But Devin ain't getting knocked out the ring.
And then how you gonna speak on Devin and you said the same shit that Devin did, but Devin won, but you got knocked out the ring. What make it make sense, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying?
And B Hop gonna tell you, ATL, man, get the fuck off that shit.
Man.
I did a lot of good shit other than that.
But I'm just saying, you can't talk shit about somebody and you got knocked out the ring, bro. Like, come on, man.
But he when it comes to fighting, but wait, this is what it was. Al Heyman, and this is for people who don't know, Al Heyman is an advisor, and so he's very strategic. And this is what I mean by you as a fighter or whoever got to take care of your career. You cannot carte blanche give your career over to anybody. I don't care if they are a Harvard grad. But Al Heyman is an advisor, which means that was his strategic way to get around the Muhammad Ali Act. Point blank, period. He really is a promoter, but his title is advisor. So you cannot take.
I don't care about none of that shit. I just want these motherfuckers to fight each other.
But you should care.
I shouldn't because I know how boxing is right now, and I'm not dumb. I know what the fuck going on, and we can't change shit as fucking fans.
Listen,
ain't nothing we could do but talk about it.
The reset button and everything good we want to happen in boxing won't happen until you address certain issues.
Ain't nobody gonna address the shit.
But people can address it. You
they
gotta
can,
let people
but they
know.
ain't because these people is fucking delusional out here, man.
Some people are, but a nigga like
I'm
me,
just saying, you delusional. If you gotta call somebody a Earl sexual or a Bud sexual, your ass delusional. Like,
oh, the new name is Crawfish now.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even say that shit. Like, that shit
you know what?
When the shit was in the talks and the shit was hot, we were talking that shit, but I'm not talking that shit now. We passed that shit. You know what I'm saying?
But no, what I'm saying, AT.
We like Donald Trump out this bitch. We want boxing great again.
If I was coming up and I was
we want boxing great again.
If I want boxing great again too, and I'm coming up and I'm a young, hungry fighter, I'm not gonna grow to somebody like Al Heyman when I hear stories like this. So I need somebody to talk about it. I don't need to be mum's the word. Because another nigga ain't gonna listen. But me, a nigga like me, I'll listen.
Man, people gonna keep pointing the fingers back and forth at each other, and it's sad. Because
It
all we want to
is.
see is some damn fights, man. That's it.
It is,
We didn't have
you
to go
know
through this shit back in the day.
how the world has cured things, fixed things in the
When you
world.
heard
They
the fight, that
always
shit
do
was
it with
coming on,
extra
and that was it.
information. But
When
I
Tyson
mean,
going to fuck somebody up, that's what you heard, and that's what's gonna
that's
happen. When
that's how you
Holyfield going to
fix
fuck
things.
somebody up, that's what happened. When Mayweather was going to fuck somebody up, that's what happened. You know what I'm saying? When Buster Douglas, George Foreman, goddamn Tommy, what's his name?
Tommy Gunn, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like
Old Tommy Gunn,
Razor
yeah.
Ruddock,
But when you want to fix things, that's how you
Roy
do it. You
Jones.
give information, right or wrong. Am I lying? Right or
These
wrong?
niggas fought every month.
Y'all know how they cure AIDS in Africa or
Am I
got
lying?
AIDS? Got AIDS to go away in Africa. They gave more information. That's
Am I
all.
lying? Niggas fought
You
like
not
twice a month,
lying. Yeah, but again,
twice every 2
if
months.
you
Mike
need to
Tyson
be
fought probably
educated
once every month.
because they was educated. ATL. They knew the score then. The score has changed.
Ooh, I almost
People,
said something. I love Mike Tyson, but you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let you have that one. On educated,
no,
but okay.
but educated. They just educated meaning being informed. That's when change happens when you get
Shit, Mike
informed.
Tyson wasn't informed back then. He's informed now.
He was going with what the status quo
Mike
was
Tyson
then.
was a fucking monster back then. He was a
But
monster. He didn't give a
but
damn about nothing but fucking
ATL,
you
you
up.
can't say the nigga won't educated. He knew certain intricacies of
No, hell
boxing.
no. I can't agree with you on that. He educated now. Yeah, I can agree with you on that now.
No,
But he
he
had to
knew
go through some shit
then.
to learn. He
Yes,
went
but
through a
he
lot of
knew.
shit. Am I lying?
I ain't saying he didn't,
Mike Tyson
ATL.
went through a lot of shit.
I'm
I
not saying he
mean,
didn't,
he
but he
went
was
through,
educated for what he knew.
yeah, him dealing with Don King, you gonna learn some shit. Cause I mean he went to Don King thinking shit was sweet. And I mean, I'm sure he
What
Nigga,
made
the
his money
hell?
and
Man, you
you
lame
know.
ass nigga. What the fuck? Man,
nigga,
what the fuck lame ass? Man,
that
I'm
was
gone,
Martin
man.
King.
I'm gone.
That was Martin King. That was Martin
Wow.
King. I don't know why ATL dropped off. That was Martin King. I let him in, and he did that. So now I do got it. I was one of the people. I wasn't telling people show your face before I let you up. It was Martin
That
King's
was
what you call him, and I let him up, and then next thing you know, it went to that. So I don't know who that was.
that was I think that was a video, but no.
Mm,
No, he's block him. I'll
yeah,
block him. Want me to
yeah,
block him?
yeah.
I got it.
Did I get? I don't even know how to give people wrenches and shit.
I got it. Yeah, no,
Mm-hmm.
we're not doing none of that.
Yeah. Not my Martin, not regular Martin King. Hold on, before you do it. That's what I'm saying,
Not
Patrick.
not not Modern King boxing.
Don't
Which
do it.
one was it?
Yeah, but what I'm trying to tell you is what people would do, they would shadow ban. They would take your name and come up and then your picture and you'd be like Martin King. And then you let them in and then it don't be actually them. So don't block
Okay,
Martin
this
King.
this the real one. Modern King boxing, 550
Yeah.
subscribers. Okay.
The one that you see all through the chat, that's the real Martin King.
Yeah, that's the
I
real
don't
one.
know
Okay.
who that was. Like in
Okay.
ATL,
Okay.
ATL, if you listen, nigga, come back. What the fuck? You know I wouldn't purposely do this. This nigga. He said, I'm gone, shot. Yeah, but and YouTube, I hope you don't flag me because I ain't trying to do that. I don't know who the fuck that was. But all I was trying to say
That was
ATL
lame.
was when Tyson came into boxing, he knew the lay of the land at the time he came into boxing. He knew whatever it is he knew. He didn't know everything, just like you can take the smartest. Chris Algieri is probably one of the most intelligent boxers in boxing, like very, very intelligent, educated and everything. Chris Algieri, when he came into boxing, knew the lay of the land of boxing for his time. Chris Algieri didn't know everything. That comes with experience, right? So I feel
Yep.
ATL on that part. But what I'm saying is, in order for there to be change, you have to inform people. You do.
Yeah.
And that's point
Gotta
blank.
be information. That's right. Knowledge. When you know better, you do better. You say it every day.
Exactly. I've been falling off saying that shit. When you know better, you do better. And I mean, because like when they was trying to get rid of AIDS in Africa, I'm like, what the fuck y'all mean you're just going to give pamphlets out and speak to the people? How the fuck that's going to help? I be goddamn. I be goddamn it helped. Noticeably helped. Went from, let's say, I don't know what the percentage was, but it was up there to next to none.
Yeah.
All by just informing people, letting them know, telling them this, telling them that. So, yeah. Hey, from now on, if y'all come through the channel, y'all gonna have to show me your face and behind the what you call it. I know, ATL, you gotta show me your face, y'all. Okay. But this nigga look visibly. Y'all have to show me your face and he look visibly disturbed. ATL, you gotta know I ain't mean to do no shit like that. Like,
no, I know you ain't do no shit like that, man. T, come on, man. But what type of lame ass shit is that, bro? That shit lame as fuck, bro. Like, niggas is fucking weird, bro. Like, that shit lame as fuck, bro.
It wasn't Martin King boxing that we see in the
I
chat,
know that. I know that.
They hacked into his shit.
That shit weird, man. That shit weird, bro. Man.
All I saw was Martin King, and I said, "Oh, look at that Martin King."
They just used that name to come into the studio. Yeah, to come to the stream yard. Yeah, they just changed their screen name to Martin King.
And then
niggas on here, what type of lame ass shit is that, bro?
I know, right?
Fucking weird, bro. Like,
and I wasn't prepared to.
Wasn't nobody prepared for that lame ass shit, bro. Nobody play like that.
I had to think about like how I knock him out. Look, I got caught off guard. I was like in a froze situation. Like how I knock him out.
Yeah, I'm like T, take this motherfucker down, take it down.
Yeah.
Weird ass niggas, bro.
I was like, oh, I'm in deep Shaquille. But anyway,
how you jacking off two niggas on goddamn? What the fuck out of here, bro? Niggas is weird, bro.
I apologize to all the kings in the building. I did
weird,
not
bro.
do that on purpose.
Sorry for that, chat. We got new policy now. Sorry for that, chat. One dude that came and fucked it up for everybody.
Fucked it up for everybody.
Face verify.
Straight up.
So that's right, you know. So now you done got your first real troll. So yep, now we got to start troll screening.
Pretty much. Y'all see my boys don't like that shit. So cut the crap.
Shit,
but
weird,
hey,
bro.
Let me ask y'all both this though before we get out here. This is the last topic. What y'all think about Tony Harris and his tactic in the Tim Zoo? Because I've been watching their ass.
Man, this nigga, man.
Come on, ATL, get it together. Get it together. It's all right. It's over. Hopefully I can go in and cut that part out of the show.
You can.
I can, but I don't never.
Out. Yeah, you can edit it out in YouTube Studio.
Yeah.
You need to find that nigga and report that nigga. Get him the fuck up out of here, man. Straight up.
I hope don't nobody. I hope
nigga
nobody
had kids on here, anything, man.
Yeah.
Play with that funny shit, man.
When I go into my studio,
nigga, you're going to hell. Whoever the fuck you is, you going straight to hell, nigga. Lame ass nigga, man. You're going to hell, man. The fuck? It's two niggas and a girl on here, man. A lady on here. What the fuck is wrong with you, man?
Y'all fucking around, catch these hands. Keep doing this shit.
These nuts.
Yeah, exactly. but yeah, I'm just gonna have to do the troll. What you call the preventative thing?
Yep.
Like you just gonna that's what's gonna be going forward.
Verify. Yep.
Trust but verify. In my Ronald Reagan voice.
Ronald Reagan.
Troll me. Troll my channel. This is my name right here across the screen. Troll me. Let me find you, bro. Whoever the fuck you is, troll me. My name right here on the fucking screen, bro. Troll me. I don't play no shit like that, bro. I don't know, man.
I wish you could see who was in your chat, because if you can see who in your chat, he in the chat. I mean, he had to come in the chat to to hit the link. So.
But I can't tell the difference between Martin King and the fake Martin King. That's the problem. I can't tell the difference. So it's just a bunch of Martin Kings. And Martin King, you ain't saying nothing in the chat. But maybe Martin King dropped off and somebody came in, and I don't know. But y'all stop fucking around like that. You have to show your face before you come in, because that's disrespectful and it's unwarranted.
I mean, you going and Martin King, the real Martin King, you gonna have to report to the office, bro. We gonna have to see you, bro. Something, bro. You gotta clear your name, man. Straight up.
Y'all got my boy ATL.
I don't know if you ever. I don't know if we ever. You seen him on here before?
Who? Martin King.
Martin King.
I think so. I'm not for sure. But you got my boy to the highest level of festivity.
You gonna have to report to the office, bro.
And ain't nothing I can do about it. Y'all gonna have to see my boy.
That's all right. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Shit, I got
we'll figure it out.
8 baby mamas, nigga. I ain't even on that shit, man. Shit weird and lame, bro. Do that shit in the comfort of your own home, nigga. The fuck.
See, I can't even get him to play the Soul Glow.
Hell nah, ain't no Soul Glow about that.
He pissed.
This horny ass nigga. Oh, it's niggas. It's 2 dudes and a lady here, man. The fuck.
Damn. Miss ATL, you gonna help
him? That shit made me feel some type of way, man.
Miss ATL, you right
you
there?
You jacking off to me? That shit lame in here, bro. But hey, shit lame in here, bro. Straight up, bro. I
said, I apologize, y'all. I clicked him in and I took my hand off the mouse, and then it was like a pause or a froze. I froze up when I started seeing. I was like, how do I get him off? Because I wasn't expecting that at all. Martin King have been up on my panel so
ain't nobody supposed to expect no shit like that. You ain't supposed to expect that. We talking about some whole other shit. Like, the fuck?
Y'all know how my show
this nigga horny. Like, what the fuck, bro?
Yeah, let me see.
You ain't got no women around you, nothing, bro. Like, the fuck? And niggas sitting here jacking off on dudes and shit on the goddamn on YouTube. Like, what the fuck? You risk your life and freedom for some stupid ass shit, bro. Like, that's, I don't know what the fuck going on in this world, bro.
Yeah, niggas you can't go to jail for that. These things are federal offenses now.
Niggas tripping, bro. What am my son?
Fuck that weird ass.
You know what I'm saying?
Weird ass dude.
You think about all that shit. I'm a Gemini. My mind running 10 million fucking miles an hour, bro. My son could have been right here, like, hey, Miss T or some shit. This weird ass nigga, man. Niggas is weird, bro. I'm sorry, Miss T, man. Like,
no, you good. Get it out.
I ain't never gonna do no shit like this. My whole goddamn life. That's
that was my first time too, home.
Shit lame as hell, bro. Yeah. This world is
so I had to make sure I look at the time so I can find it when I go into the try to edit it and pull it out. And believe me, y'all, I'm going to try to pull it out as soon as I get off. I'm not good at that shit, but I'll figure it out. If I gotta call the activist and he walk me through that shit, but I ain't good at. I ain't be good at the computer shit. But what y'all think about Tony Harris and his tactics with Tim Zoo?
I don't know what you're talking about. so fill me in.
What you gonna say, ATL? All the luster and ran out.
He fucked me up with that stupid ass shit, bro. Like, that's some lame ass shit, bro. Like, I don't even play like that, man.
So Tony
I be in my own zone. He done brought me out of my zone there. I don't even be like this, Miss T. I'm like,
fucked up your high and everything, right? So
not Tony that. I don't be like this. I don't even get like this, bro. I'm peaceful. I be in my zone. I don't fuck with nobody. You know what I'm saying? I help. You know what I'm saying? Who I can. I don't go through shit like that, bro. And that shit. I don't hang around people that do shit like that, man. That shit.
It's inappropriate. Yeah, it's inappropriate for sure. But people like to play games and shit.
I'd have been jammed up, gone away from home, all that shit. I ain't never had to see that weird ass shit because I don't, you know what I'm saying, keep myself around no weird ass shit like that, man. Motherfucker know who do that weird ass shit. But I don't do that shit, man. That shit.
But it's gonna be okay, ATL. We can't stop. We can't be shielded in the world from bullshit. Put it this way: nobody gonna have to be able to tell that story in their life.
That shit disrespectful.
Shielded away from some BS.
That shit disrespectful, man. I feel disrespected as a man, bro.
It is, but listen, the fact that
Straight up,
these
no,
things
ain't no
happen,
fact, bro. I feel
it
this
is.
as a
It's
fucking
not.
man.
It's not negating what you feel.
I feel like a nigga was jacking off on me just now, bro. That's how I feel, bro.
Now,
Straight up.
now
It's
we
two
got to get
dudes.
to a
It's two
point.
dudes here in the Queen. Like, what the fuck, bro?
I get it. I get it. But I'm saying there's nothing we could do about that. It happened. We now came up with a
Listen,
mechanism
you cannot
for
say the
getting
shit happened. My dick is not out on the show
it.
looking at active activists or no shit. You
but
feel me?
again, but
I
again,
ain't never came on honey. Ooh,
this
Miss T,
we
I'm
are
feeling
not.
good tonight.
Listen, I'm not the first channel this happened to.
Man.
It happened to E Thriller, B Mac. It happened to a lot of people channels, and now it has happened to me. So guess what? I'd had people in there talking about second dick and all this shit like last year in my chat,
Miss T, you
and
going too far.
y'all would be like, Missy, go get them out of the
You
chat,
going too far right
and
now, Miss
and
T.
I would get them out, but I ain't gonna let it derail my whole day. But I feel y'all that it was highly disrespectful, and it won't. It's not nothing I advocate or want to put
I know that. I
on
know
my
you would
what you
never do
call
no
me.
stupid shit like that.
So
You a grown ass
now
woman.
we just gotta, when you come in, show your
You
face
need to get some wrenches or
and
something.
whatever.
God damn, that shit.
If I knew how to do that shit, I would. I don't know how to do it. It don't show me on here how to do that shit. I'm real talk. But anyway, what Tony Harris was doing, he playing what is it? He playing possum. He playing possum. Y'all need to go check out some of his interviews. He sounding crazy because he basically telling the dude, y'all stupid as hell for taking this fight. If I was y'all, I wouldn't have took the fight because I'm pretty much and in a sense, Tim Zoo can read through all that BS, but he basically in a nice way is saying, y'all stupid as hell for taking the fight. And now that you took it, you just gave me the opportunity to win the belts. And I'm about to beat your ass and go get Charlo. But that's not how he's saying it. He's saying it like, man, I love you, man. I like you, Tim. Little Timmy, he called him Timmy. The first thing, to me, I think that's disrespectful to call a grown man Timmy. I don't give a fuck if his name is Tim. Little Timmy, thank you for giving. I'm hugging you right now, Timmy. I'm hugging you. He doing all this extra shit.
Yeah,
Tony
that's
Harris,
patronizing as hell.
he one of the best at patronizing and and getting in your head. that nigga Tony Harrison, what Tony H. Tony H. But I seen that. If y'all have not seen those video clips of Tony Harrison being patronizing to Tim Zoo, y'all need to go look at it. But Tim Zoo is coming back like, no, I'm gonna fight you. You're gonna see in the end. He's trying to be hard with it. Because I think he knows that Tony is being patronizing. But I mean, it's just weird as hell. Now, if they saying that Tony doing that because he don't want Tim to get in there and go hardcore and hurt him, because Tim is a power puncher. He a pressure fighter. He come at you. But if Tony can get in his head and fuck him all up, that's what he did to Charlo. That's how he won. Got in his head. But Charlo is an emotional fighter anyway. But I don't know if he could do that to Tim Zoo. So I saw that. I thought that was interesting. But
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you with how you explaining it. Yeah, that sound right. He playing mind games, doing all that extra. Yeah.
that's all. Yeah, it won't much to be said in boxing these days. We have to wait to see how a lot of things play out. But y'all, when we talk about what I want us to get to a point is we can just report what's new and what's coming up without people getting in their feelings. Like I said, with updates and this, that, and the other. But y'all check that pattern out too. Every time something good happened with Crawford, the hate come out. And y'all check it out. And all that happened, it ain't like Crawford did nothing to nobody. He was in the movie. We didn't know the whole time when they was making Creed that Crawford was gonna be in it. I didn't know. Did y'all know?
Nope.
He was in the movie, and he was on the game. Who knew? You know what I'm saying?
Nope. Yeah,
And the
yeah,
people want
that's
to be
right.
mad. So the venom is out there, y'all. So sometimes I'm gonna be like, okay, this is how I'm gonna try to be. Okay, Terrence did a good thing this week. He didn't had to come up.
Wow.
You know, people gonna be hating and talking about him bad. That's what it is. Just ignore them. Keep it moving. That's what I'm gonna try to do. That's the pattern. But other than that, I ain't got nothing else, Shawty. I'm sorry the dude fucked up your day, ATL. He fucked up ours too. But you ATL ready to throw hands. Nigga, you better stay far from around my channel and his.
Hey,
And
word.
active activists. We don't want to see your old greasy, nasty ass, ragged ass. You know, I'm gonna stop right there. You know, member. I'm gonna leave
Yeah,
it like that.
your little old wee wee.
Mm-hmm. Yo, contaminated ass. We don't want to see that shit. But y'all got any closing words? Look at ATM. ATM
I'm gonna
making me
say
go smoke.
closing thoughts, man. Like I said, the question, the burning question for me is about these fighters' rights, and that's all. I'm gonna just keep putting that out there to anybody who watched the replay. If you ever heard or read or seen or heard another content creator talk about or whatever, you heard anything in the vicinity of fighters or dealing with Al Heyman, because he is getting them to get some kind of uh re-airing rights to their fights, and they still getting paid after the fact from their fights that's showing on TV or whatever network. Send that to Boxing Fans Talk TV, please.
Please do. Because I almost promise you won't find it, but I will cash app your ass something. Y'all know I ain't cheap. ATL can attest to you that I will cash app you if I say I'm a cash app. But I don't know. I don't. This is my position on it. I don't know or have ever heard of such a thing. Never heard of it. So I'm in my mind, unless they pull out a contract and show what network or who they would, in cahoots or in business with. Like if you have a Crawford, he pull out a contract and he said, "See, with ESPN, I got a contract specifically with them to get a percentage off of whenever they air my fights." I ain't never heard of that shit. But ATL, you got anything close thoughts?
Yep.
What's up, dog?
If I ever catch any of you weird ass niggas out here in these streets, and I have a vibe that you on some bullshit, and I see you out here, and
Mm-hmm.
especially if I know you, and I see you, and I don't fuck with you, and you done pulled up on here on some weird shit, and I see you out here in these streets, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I promise you, I'm gonna make you look like a bitch out here, bro. I swear to God on my dead grandma, my dead son, bro. I don't play like that. For any of you weird ass niggas, I'm always watching my back, my fronts, whatever, bro. If I catch any of you weird ass niggas out here, bro, we gonna have some fucking problems, man, because you fucked up a whole show. I don't even get like this. But I don't play like that. And if I catch any of you weird ass niggas out here in these goddamn streets, bro, it's gonna be a problem, bro. I promise you, on my dead son, my grandma, whoever, bro, we gonna have an issue when I see you. I promise you. Because I watch my back every day. I know what the fuck going on. I'm up on everything. And if I see anything weird around me, I'm gonna think it's you. And it
Mm.
ain't gonna be nice when you see me, bro. Whoever the fuck you is, bro. I promise you. I promise you this. Cause
See,
I don't
y'all.
Hey, and I'm a back door with ATL saying, like, y'all need to understand, y'all can't be out here on this internet playing with everybody. I'm a computer whiz. I know how to find people. I'm a Navy vet, retired.
Mm.
Queen T is a Navy vet, retired. We got friends who know how to do this shit. If I can't find you, I got somebody who can find you. You
Mm-hmm.
know, this doxing shit is real out here. Don't get doxed. Don't get your information put out and get found because you want to come on the internet doing this Bama ass shit.
Yeah. Hey, active activists can tell you I got a little thing I could go into and find anybody. Find everything about you. Y'all forgot what the fuck I did in the Navy. But
Please give me some information. Please. You got my number.
Hey, we had clearances. We know how to do some
yeah,
shit. We know some
exactly.
shit.
Exactly. So I mean, but I don't live by that creed. When I retired, I retired. Don't make me unretire. For them, I would unretire because, like they said, that was disrespectful. That is highly disrespectful, main so to a man than mostly a girl. Because we be not saying that we condone it and think that we should have it, but that's an average day in a girl's like to see some shit like that. Men don't want to see that shit, and this is not that type of show. And just like he said, his kid could have came and said, "How much tea?" And then look at what we don't do that. You know what I'm saying? We show everybody respect on here, and we don't mind giving respect, but we got to get it. That nasty ass shit. And by the way, your shit look contaminated and
And
little.
we was just talking about AIDS. He probably got it.
Mm-hmm. His shit look little and contaminated. Now, how about that?
Fucking niggas in the ass, gay ass nigga.
Yeah.
Jacking off on niggas. I know you gay, and I don't got nothing against gays, but you lame as fuck, man.
A butt plug. But anyway,
I'm a warrior.
exactly.
Yeah, he's a warrior. Yeah.
Manstanko.
Please give me
Manstanko,
some
not a
information.
Mandinko.
If any of y'all find out about a nigga who I'm living at in North Carolina, please let me know. Please let me know. Please. I go beat a nigga brother up, everything. I don't give a fuck. Nigga got me fucked up out here.
His brother
He said on spot.
Please let me know.
on
Straight
site,
up.
baby.
Nigga got me fucked up out here, bro.
Hey, ATL said off the dick. He gonna fuck y'all up.
Off the dick.
Off the dick.
off the muscle, baby.
Yeah, off the muscle. Yeah, that's what y'all men say. But I can say off the dick. He gonna fuck y'all up. Yes.
Weird ass niggas.
Shout outs to Butter for saying that shit to me, man. That shit is still funny to this day. But that's all we got today. Y'all listen, I told y'all I come on Monday through Friday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Unless I don't got shit to talk about. I'm never gonna try to sell y'all no fluff. But in the words of Pamela James, peace. See y'all.